Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. It's the big show tonight from the XL Energy Center, presented by Optimal Goalie, RJM Construction, Tradition Company, Sportsman's Guide, Brew Pub, and mozzarella. Lots of pizza. Man, I've said that so many times. I'm starting to spin around, Bart Archer. The Edina Hornets and the Eden Prairie Eagles set to do battle here from the XL Energy Center. The official face-off will come in about 17 minutes and 47 seconds. We're going to have an extended pregame show for you. Turn them down, turn us up. We got you covered here at the mnhockey.tv. Bart, how are you, buddy?
I am
Welcome
good.
aboard.
A lot of anxiety going on. We're going to soon be underway, but it seems to take forever for this opening face-off for the championship game, but it's been a great day so far, but looking forward to a great night as well.
So these two teams, they're playing at it once again. And, there's nothing new here between these two clubs. We've had some gaudy victories for Edina, 3 of them this year. And, when you go back over the course of the past decade, Edina's been pretty much running the table right now. And, I have to tell you this, Bart, that I think in the end, things do get a little bit different when it's the state final. Eden Prairie's been playing really good hockey, and this could be a whole different situation.
Well, indeed, just to take you a bit of a history lesson, Edina opened up 6-1 in the holiday tournament, and it was the third game in 3 nights, and that was the first tournament of the year, so I think Eden Prairie had some tired legs on that one, and Jack Jensen was not available for Lee Smith of the Eden Prairie Eagles. I think that kind of had a bit of an effect on him. Second game was at the community center. It was a 5-2 contest. Jed Jungles with 2 goals, Malmquist with 3 assists, and then 7-2. At Prairie Arena, it was Jungles and Malmquist each with 3 goals each. So the common denominator here is to pay particular attention when Jungles and Malmquist are on the ice. And I'm sure Coach Lee Smith has his team more than well aware of it. They just can't be too aware of it, I guess, so to speak. But Pete, this Eden Prairie team, they're going to have to be aware of Edina. Edina, 4 of their 18 goals in those games came within the first 3 minutes of a period, and I think that's going to be very, very important for Eden Prairie, because if Edina gets that energy early and Eden Prairie starts to try to play catch-up, I think that's going to run them into some trouble. But if Eden Prairie can put a couple in pretty early, I think that'll settle them down. They'll get down to playing Eagle hockey.
Dating back to 2009, that was the year after Edina had lost to Hill Murray in the 2008 state championship. There have been a total of 7 state champions in the state high school hockey tournament in the Class AA. Eden Prairie in 09, Edina in 10, Eden Prairie again in 11. Benilde St. Margaret's breaks the spell for a year in 2012 when Grant Bessie went absolutely nuts.
The Bessie show.
Oh, it was amazing. That 5-goal performance was unreal. That breakaway I'll never forget.
Yeah, the Midas touch.
Edina in 2013, Edina in 2014, Lakeville North in 15. Then here come the Trojans of Wayzata in 16, Grand Rapids in 17, Minnetonka last year, and now one of these two teams here, Edina and Eden Prairie. One of the things that we've talked a lot about of late, Bart, is the depth of the Hornets scoring up front. I mean, they got a pair of 30-goal scorers in Liam Malmquist and Jet Jungles. Jungles and Malmquist each notched, tied at 61 in points. I mean, they're having monster years. And, they also have another guy on their line that's equally impressive. And they've been moving Malmquist around, where he's been playing with Chorsky a bit more lately as well.
Sure. On
their line.
Well, and Kevin Delaney rounds out that line as well, and he's got 19 tallies to date this year. But the thing that impresses me is out of those 19 goals from Kevin Delaney, 1 is on the power play and 1 is a shorty. So 17 5-on-5 goals for that young man, and Nevers at the 20-goal mark as well. So they not only have some high-impact top-end scores, but they also have some pretty good mid-range scores, and you can't eliminate senior forward Brett Chorsky. He's got 13 on the board, and he got a little bit of a late start in the year, but he's been on fire ever since.
Well, Brett Chorsky's very interesting because he brings a little bit of a different look to this offensive flow at 6'6".
Indeed he does.
And the big arms. Why are you laughing?
Well, it just the Bobby Smith reference. It was
well, I was just going
on.
there.
It was spot on.
But doesn't he? Remember that goal Bobby Smith scored along the goal line against Calgary in the playoffs?
Yep.
He weaved a couple of guys, and it was all about his frame. But you look at that big body, and you say, okay, how can a guy have that skill with those hands and those feet, and still find? Usually you see that guy being a big, thick banger, and a guy just hammers people. And Brett Chorsky's a lot different. I know he's going to play Division I college hockey. He's not connected up anywhere yet. He's going to probably have to, they want him to get stronger. I'm doing quotation marks. I think that's a little overrated in the strength category, because if that were the case, Casey Middlestat wouldn't be playing in the National Hockey League today, Mr. Pull-Ups. But anyway, the fact is that the kid does remind me of Bobby Smith.
Well, if you can play, you can play. I mean, the bottom line. But, if you get a growth spurt, and I can speak from experience to a certain degree on this, but I think I grew 6 or 7 inches. It takes a while for the body to kind of get recalibrated a little bit, and I think he went through that, but he's certainly through that. But he has a tremendous stick skill, but he's got that stick zone that just, I think, takes a lot of players by surprise. I don't think anybody on Eden Prairie is going to be surprised about it, but Eden Prairie has their work cut out for him. But Pete, we talked about it on our podcast. If you get a chance, please check it out. But I think this Eden Prairie team matches up pretty well against this Edina Hornet squad.
I think they match up very well now.
Yep.
I think we thought they matched up pretty well earlier in the year, and we stood corrected. But they went after a Blaine team, and it was funny because I texted Paul Ranheim after the game, said, "Nice effort, congratulations, ba-da-da-da-ba." And he, you know what he said to me? "Yeah, we finally put the hammer down after the first period." I'm like,
What?
Your first period, you outshot them like 14-4,
Right.
and they were up 2-0, sure, but jeez.
Well, I just think that Eden Prairie, the second period really is a period, and if we can hit the rewind button a little farther against Chaska, it was pretty much a 50-50 contest until that second period, and then Eden Prairie just seemed to find their rhythm and find their game, and they haven't really looked back since. The first game against Lakeville South was a little bit nondescript to a certain degree, but they survived that one. But they came out like a house of fire in that second period and took the game away.
They sure did. The defenseman now for the Eden Prairie Eagles. We talk about seniors Keegan Langfells, Max Argetsinger, Sam Pager. You continue to move on to Clayton Schultz. I mean, they are senior laden back on that end line. A.J. Horton. You've got Cam Langfells, and of course, how can we forget about Luke Middlestat? He's as good as it gets, Bart.
Well, and that's where I think really, I don't want to say it's a balance, because I spoke praises about Edina's defensive core, but this Eden Prairie defensive team deserves some accolades as well. They have some offensive skill, but they can defend quite well, and you get the Argetsinger and Pager. They're pretty big bodies out there that are not afraid to push some people around and clear the slot for Axel Rosenlund. We're assuming he's going to be in goal tonight. But no, this defensive core is going to create some fits for Edina, but Edina has such a good east-west game. They can move up and down the ice north-south quite well. So Eden Prairie's hands are going to be full as far as defending this Hornet team, but they're certainly capable if they're on their game. Eden
Prairie and Edina to play for the state championship. And you and I have kind of discussed and chuckled about how there's always a state tournament environment and vibe when they play at either the Eden Prairie Community Center or Braemar Arena. I think it's fair to say that's right on the table again here tonight.
Well, two very proud programs, obviously, and they've had recent success as well, but you just you don't want to get bested by, and they're very familiar with each other. They came up playing since they're youngsters all the way through. It's just kind of bittersweet to a certain degree that there's going to be, I think, 23 players on both of these rosters combined that are going to be playing their last high school game tonight. I'm sure that 12 for Eden Prairie, I think 11 for Edina, but obviously they're going to leave nothing in the locker room. We're going to see all-out effort tonight, and that's what we're looking forward to. That's the beautiful thing about, there's no tomorrow type of a mentality going into a championship game. Is they're going to leave nothing in the locker room. They're going to leave everything out on the ice, and I think that's very intriguing tonight.
About 13 minutes away now. They stopped the clock at 13 here, Bart. Oh, good.
Yeah, you echoed the same thing I was thinking about. It's just like, come on. But no, allow the fans to kind of file in, and but this is going to be a good game. Some people, it can go one of two directions. I'm rooting for a little drama tonight. I think Eden Prairie certainly has the capability of escaping this Edina Hornet team, but it's not going to be easy because this Hornet team seems to kind of play as well as they have to stay ahead of the game. Now, they let St. Thomas kind of creep back into that game. St. Thomas would score a goal, then Edina would come and score a goal 25 seconds later, but then things started to kind of tighten up, and I saw some squeezing the sticks on Edina. I thought their goaltender became a little busy, so this team is not indestructible or impenetrable. You just have to put yourself in the right position, but you can't let them get ahead early because it's a good front-running team.
Let's head downstairs now to Jim Carroll.
Has been celebrating the 75th year of the Boys State Hockey Tournament. During this week, we've introduced you to the top coaches, teams, goalies, games, and players throughout the past 75 years. Tonight, we showcase the all-tournament team and coach as chosen by a select panel. Let's meet the players and coach that made tournament history during the past 75 years.
This is going to be something else. A lot of history. Oh, there's your coach.
The man in the houndstooth hat from Edina, Willard Eichela. He won 8 state titles and in 33 years coaching had just 1 losing season.
When you say Willard Eichela, it's synonymous with championships, but most importantly, it's synonymous with this tournament.
Unbelievable hockey coach and a mentor to so many of us in the game. Truly a legend.
At goalie from Centennial High School, Greg Stutz. In 2004, he recorded 3 consecutive shutouts. He faced 53 shots and stopped them all.
He must have just been so locked in, but it's not like he said, I'm going to do this in 3 games. He just did it like the phrase goes. I know sometimes in the media we hate to hear it, but 1 game at a time.
To do it 3 straight nights, 3 straight games with the best teams in the state playing, I mean, that is, it's unbelievable.
On defense from Cretin-Derham Hall, Ryan McDonough. In 2006, he led the Raiders to a state title and an all-tournament selection with 2 goals and 3 assists.
McDonough was so dominant. I watched the game, I'll never forget. Well, I watched a tournament, I'm working a tournament, and he just took over the whole tournament.
You saw what he did to Cretin for Cretin, and he led them to a state title, and you can't say more than that.
Also on defense, Henry Boucher of War Road. In just 2.5 games in 1969, he led the Warriors to a state runner-up thanks to his 2 goals and 3 assists. He was also a member of the all-tournament team.
One of the best players ever, plain and simple.
And it was the first time I ever saw Henry Boucher, and I could not believe how good of a player he was. He was just fantastic.
Now let's meet 3 of the greatest names to play in this tournament. From Greenway Coleraine, Mike Antonovich, a 2-time state champion and a 3-time all-tournament selection. He scored 12 goals and added 9 assists.
He really paved the way for the smaller type player in the state of Minnesota and showing what kind of player you can be when you have the skills of a Mike Antonovich, one of the great all-time players.
He comes from the time when there was a transition in hockey from the 50s to the 60s and then ushering in a new era into the 70s.
From Duluth East, a tournament legend, Dave Spihar. In 3 state tournaments, he had 19 goals, including 5 hat tricks, 3 in 1 tournament alone, and 11 assists. He was a 3-time all-tournament selection and a state champion in 1995.
He's probably the best pure goal scorer that was in the tournament. And every time he had a chance, he put it in the net.
Lou Nanny talking about all the greats from the past, like Mayasich and these guys that have played in the state tournament before, and how enamored he was with Spihar, and how that was such a great moment in Minnesota high school hockey.
And last but certainly not least, the man most considered the greatest hockey player in Minnesota history, Eveleth's John Mayasich. He won 4 consecutive titles from 1948 to 1951, was on 3 all-tournament teams, and still has the state tournament record for most points with 44, including 36 goals and a state record 7 hat tricks.
He's a treasure here in Minnesota, and if there's a Mount Rushmore of Minnesota hockey figures, John Mayasich has got to be on it. But never lost a state tournament game, 69-0.
He is special to high school hockey here in Minnesota. He always has been special to the sport.
Please welcome the 75th anniversary all-tournament team. At head coach from Edina, Willard Eichela.
Tips the
From
houndstooth
Centennial,
hat.
Goalie Greg Stutz. From War Road, defenseman Henry Boucher.
Looking good.
Unable to be with us tonight from Cretin-Derham Hall, defenseman Ryan McDonough. Accepting the award for Ryan is his high school coach, Jim O'Neill. From Greenway, forward Mike Antonovich. From Duluth East, forward Dave Spihar.
Big rounding rendition of applause for him.
From
they remember
Evelyn,
him.
Forward John Mayasich.
Wow. In the house.
Ladies and gentlemen,
looking good.
your 75-year all-tournament team.
I mean, it's just absolutely amazing that John Mayasich, standing right on the carpet, walks off just like he could still fly.
He probably can.
I mean, my goodness. Unbelievable stuff. Willard Eichela, oh, man, I mean, it's...
Boy, think of the history that was on that piece of carpet right there. Holy cow.
Lots of great history there with that group, and well done by the Minnesota State High School Hockey League, Bart. That was a good tribute there for sure.
Well, we're about 10 minutes from the drop of the puck, but it's nice to see Willard being recognized for the legend that he is, seeing Henry Boucher up there. Dave Spehar looking good as well. Just a nice tribute to those fine hockey players that really kind of paved the way for what we're experiencing today. So, trendsetters, they raised the bar.
Indeed, trendsetters raising the bar. The officials have taken to the ice. We're at about the 10-minute mark now before we start this hockey game left in it. And, you know, I thought this place was going to be really empty, Bart, but it's really filling in quite nicely.
Well, we still got a ways to go, probably in the concourse, so it's going to get a little bit more populated, but there's a lot of challenges going on with the Snownomi, as you said, coming in.
Well, Edina EP doesn't really thrill the rest of the state either, let's be honest.
True. No, that's true.
This could be a really good hockey game. To me, it's going to be about Eden Prairie. I've talked about it ad nauseum. Being able to rotate those two centers, Rudroot and Jensen, keeping them fresh, going every other shift against a team in Edina that played 1, 2, 3, 4 lines yesterday.
Yeah, and
all of them.
The third and fourth lines got plenty of ice time as well, so I'm sure that their first and second lines are somewhat well rested. They're going to have some speed tonight, but this Edina team is very quick in transition, probably the best transition team aside from perhaps Minnetonka Skippers and maybe a handful of others. But that's one thing that Eden Prairie is going to have to do is close time and space, but they're going to have to be able to manage the neutral zone with some effectiveness. But I think that it comes down to how Eden Prairie gets out of their zone.
Oh, there they are, the Hornets being booed vociferously. They love them here at the XL Energy Center.
Well, it's like wrestling. Either they love you or they hate you, but if you're in the gray area,
I love
nobody
the boos.
cares. Absolutely.
I love it. It's
and
so
it beats
good.
The Hornets, too.
Oh, it's great. They hate them.
Well, I'd like to think they respect the quality and talent that they bring to this March Showcase.
Nah, people get sick of winners. They get sick of, what they do is they build you up to tear you down.
Oh, absolutely. That's just society in general, but Eden Prairie's got a great opportunity.
Well, we're going to get Austin Kresbach's going to be announced again, and this place is going to erupt because he has got by far, this being the last year of the all hockey here team, if he's not number one, John King, we got to do something about that because it is just that good.
He's got the crisp salad.
Oh, kind of like the crisp salad we had the other day. It was freezing. And then it started to thaw. Timmy Colomine said he had to throw it. Couldn't deal with it.
Oh.
Of course, he has standards from Moorhead.
Well, indeed. Different rules to live by.
We're going to be throwing it back downstairs to Jim Carroll, who's been just yeoman's-like and working all 4 games today.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen,
Jim
and
Carroll.
welcome to the 75th Annual Minnesota State High School League Boys Hockey Tournament. Tonight's AA state title game features the champions of Section 2, with a record of 19-9-2, the Eden Prairie Eagles. Against the champions of Section 6, with a record of 26-2-1, the Edina Hornets. Now let's meet the Eagles. Senior defenseman number 2, Max Argetsinger. Senior defenseman number 3, Sam Pager. Senior defenseman number 4, Keegan Langfels. Senior forward number 5, Austin Krebsbach. Senior forward number 6, Jacob Villiard. Senior forward number 7, Spencer Rudrood. Sophomore forward number 8, Drew Holt. Junior forward number 9, John Middlestad. Senior forward number 10, Garrett Smith. Senior defensive number 16, Clayton Schultz. Senior forward number 17, Sam Wilhite. Senior forward number 18, Jack Jensen. Junior forward number 20, Kai Stansberry. Sophomore forward number 22, Carter Batchelder. Sophomore defensive number 27, Luke Middlestad.
Batch looked like he was about to fall.
It looked like
you see that?
Junior goalie number 30, Axel Rosenlund. Junior goalie number 31, Ben Bullis. Senior forward number 37, Carson Jones. Senior defensive number 39, AJ Horton.
Jonesy rocking the chin strap beard.
And sophomore defenseman number 42, Cameron Langfells. The assistant coaches are Paul Ranheim and Tom Curtis. Head coach is Lee Smith, the Eden Prairie Eagles. Now let's meet the Hornets. Sophomore goalie number 1, Loden Hogue. Junior defenseman number 2, Jake Boltman. Sophomore defenseman number 4, Nick Williams. Senior defenseman number 6, Drew Bishop. Senior forward number 7, Liam Malmquist. Junior defenseman number 8, Gunnar Johnson. Senior forward number 9, Peter Colby. Junior forward number 10, Mark Overman. Junior forward number 11, Grant Morton. Junior forward number 12, Cole Kavanaugh. Senior forward number 14, Michael Shoemaker. Junior forward number 15, Luke Rugemer.
Shoemaker with some sort of beard combo there.
Senior
He's kind of got the mutton
17,
chops.
Brett Chorsky.
So good. Chorchy's got to do something here. He's been really chill.
Senior forward number 18, Mason
Still keeping it
Myers.
chill. Doesn't even say hi to anybody. I was expecting more out of him.
Sophomore forward number 19, Jackson Borst.
Never is going complete mute. No hellos.
Senior defenseman number 20, Mike Vorlicki.
Staring to anger. This team's staring down the camera
Senior
angry.
defenseman number 21,
Ooh,
Mason
Vorlicki
Miners.
Vorlicki goes with the Pete Wagner eyebrow.
Senior forward number 22, Jet Jungles.
Reiners with the Caterpillar stash. No JFM.
Senior forward number 23,
Jungles
Kevin
serious
Delaney.
flop to his hair.
And senior goalie number 30, Jack Wolf.
And the stash for Jack Wolf. Maybe the best stash in the business right here.
Well, at least one of the fullest.
The assistant coaches are Greg Aslickson and Dave Terwilliger. Head coach is Kurt Giles, the Edina Hornets.
We'll now have your national anthem right here from the
In this
XL
evening's
Energy
game,
Center.
officials on the lines, Reed Hutton and Craig Teets. Your referees are Ron Laturi and Tyler Landman.
Tyler Landman getting a lot of the big games here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise. Please remove your caps and join the Edina Band in the playing of our national anthem.
I don't know. I thought I heard home of the Eagles a little bit louder. We'll find out in a matter of a few moments.
Well, it's kind of funny. Everybody's rocking back and forth. You can tell the energy's up. The nerves are up a little bit. It looked like everybody was arm in arm singing Kumbaya for a while there, but a lot of activities on the blue lines, B. Wagner. A lot of nervous energy out there.
Here tonight's starting lineups fueled by.
Well, I think the best nervous energy I've ever seen compiled was on the
defense is number 4, Keegan Langfels, and number 27,
bench when they do O Canada in Ottawa. It's something else.
Right wing is number 17, Sam Wilhite, and the center is number 18, Jack Jensen.
So to be the Hornets and the Eagles going at it for the 4th time, the Hornets are 3-0 on the season. They've had some hefty wins. We mentioned them in the pregame show, Bart, and they're going to look to try to continue that angle again here tonight. Things are different, though. It's the last game of the year. It's a state tournament. The Eagles have found their identity and their rhythm. They've bought into the system, and they're getting it done.
Well, and I think they have a style of play that they can actually have success without adjusting to Edina's style. But I think they're going to have to bring in the physical game, Pete, try to get Edina stopped before they can really get started. But I think the work is cut out for them. What I think they need to do is slow the game down just a little bit. But possession is just key in this game. The team that possesses the puck or wins the time of possession battle is going to have a greater chance of success, but it all starts in the face-off dot.
135 games in the books here for the MNHockey.tv, while 134. This will be 135, our biggest year we've ever done, by about 2 times, and 2.5 times.
Absolutely.
So,
I want to thank everybody for joining us and making it happen, making it worthwhile. You are the wind beneath our wings.
Yeah, I'm getting weepy. I'll tell you what, though, we did 25 games last year. That's the difference. I mean, that's a big deal. So we're grateful for the ability to cover this great game to the depths that we do, and thanks to all those that have supported us from administrative perspectives, from captains' parents' perspectives. Both these teams are part of our coverage family. We're underway now. It's going to be the Hornets from right to left across your screen. Crowd's glad we finally get this thing going. Back up the middle they go to Nevers as he plays left wing to Jungles. Oh, a big pad save made right off the shoot there by Rosenlund. Now it's going to be Boltman from the left point. That deflects off Jungle's stick. And now it'll be the Eagles. Batchelder plays that up to the right wing side. It's going to be controlled now by Middlestead. Runs into a Shoemaker hit. John Middlestead, okay, off to the bench. In front. Score! What a save! I was about to call the goal there for Luke Middlestead, but that was Loudon Hogue not being fooled. What a great opportunity. It was that Wilhite that had the opportunity there. Wow, nearly in the first minute of play there. Eagles now stay on that puck. One thing the Eagles have done this entire tournament is played with tempo and pace. The Hornets like to play that way. This should be a wide open hockey game here between these two teams. Williams is hit on the play. Argetsinger takes the body on Malmquist, who walks along the goal line. These two teams play each other 2 to 3 times a year at the youth level, and then again 3 times here in the high school hockey season. Cut off by Rosenlund. Look out, here comes Malmquist. Almost tucked it home as Rosenlund hustled to get back into the goal mouth area. Now it's going to be handled by Chorsky to the corner for Malmquist. He's manhandled to the ground out of the right corner. Delaney carries to the corner. He's checked by Rudrud. Now it's going to be the Eagles to play this one back along the right wing side to the line and out. Williams was there as he chips that one to the right side off the boards. Luke Middlestead takes control, gives it back right over to Holt. He can fly the sophomore up the right wing side. Drew Holt, long shot into the glove by him and hung on to by Loudon Hogue. He's going to elect to have the faceoff coming up to his left.
Well, we're very early into this game, but if you're Lee Smith, you have to like the way your team is actually showing up to play. They brought some physicality, but Edina in turn, Shoemaker with a nice open ice check, but it was Wilhite that really defined this first minute and a half so far. Had a point-blank chance on Loudon Hogue, but Hogue kept that puck out of the net. Trying moment for Edina early.
Both goalies tested early. The first shot of the game within the first 10 seconds by Jungles had the goaltender going one way, got the left pad out on that, and then there was that play you talked about with Wilhite. Beautiful save by Hogue.
Yeah, Edina with an early push, but a nice response by Eden Prairie.
Rung around the boards in the Edina zone to center it goes. It's going to be gathered in by Jones on the tape to the right wing side for Jensen, the former Edina player. He's been an Eagle for 3 years, well 4 if you include his Bantam AA season as a freshman. Smith in front, a shot by Jensen misses the mark. That one was labeled toward the lower left corner but was deflected away. And what do we have? We have a hand pass. That went off an Eagle player. a lot of tempo here to the first 2 minutes and 5 seconds of this hockey game.
Well, I think Jack Jensen getting down around the hash marks. Loudon Hogue's eyes got awful big on that one, but Eden Prairie's going to need Jensen to take those shots. If he gets between the dots, put that puck on net, because he has plenty of bangers in front as far as like the Will Heights that can get to that net and look for a second chance.
They'll face off to the right of Rosenlund. Now it's Williams' shot that deflects. Back onto the stick they go out of the zone. That's John Middlestad, rink wide through everyone. Williams collects top of the right-left circle. Now it's Jungles pass deflects, spanned on there by Nevers. John Middlestad shifty across the line, watched by Vorlicki, played back in behind the net. Williams reaches and grabs it, plays it to the left wing side as Jungles is hit. There's a shot that's wide of the mark. Redrood was trolling for the deflect. Instead, it's off the boards to center. Shoemaker plays that back in behind. Rosenlund can't cut it off. Now it's Jungles. Jungles gets away from one man. He's going to be forced off the puck, though, as Redrood flips it to center over the outstretched arm of Williams, picked up from right to left by Vorlicki across the line. Opening, played back in deep, left wing side. It's Malmquist off the boards. Chorski waits for the carom as he's going to sit on it and tuck it right back in behind for the oncoming Kevin Delaney. Delaney from the right circle tried to pull the trigger, but his stick was checked, and here come the Eagles across center with speed. Now it's going to be Jensen, wanted to create, bumped by Boltman, but Jensen stays on it. Ooh, his pass was picked off behind the net by the big reach of Chorski. That pass to the left wing side too far for Delaney, as it's going to be Pager to come away with it. Outlets to the left wing side, off the boards to center. Reiners plays that back in. Pager gets it back. Now he'll carry it out of the zone instead. Up the left side, cuts across the Edina line. Pager with some room back along the goal line. Carries this one deep, looks in front through the crease, and that one's going to be whistled down. Edina with a penalty coming up on the play.
Too many men on the ice, Pete. Kind of a sloppy line change. I think it was Delaney that fell right before the bench, and the Edina player jumped on. The puck was in the area, so an early power play for this Eden Prairie Eagles squad. 37.5 during the state tournament, 25.5 overall. Great opportunity for them. Edina with a very stingy 84% penalty kill, and that's been consistent through the year, the regular season sections and state tournament play, but the challenge is certainly in front of them. Eden Prairie with a great opportunity right now. Edina got to clean up those line changes. Those little things are going to mean so much in this game, but Eden Prairie is going to come with all guns blazing. I have to think, Pete, and I'm sure you echo these sentiments, Loudon Hogue's going to have to be their best penalty killer tonight.
We return in 10 seconds.
This is Tim Layton, Communications Director of the Minnesota State High School League and a 1982 graduate of Minneapolis Roosevelt High School. You are listening to the Minnesota State High School League State Tournament. We are the league.
Go.
This is Tim Layton, Communications.
The Minnesota State High School League celebrating their 75th anniversary. Edina and Eden Prairie. Tonight's coverage presented in part by Optimal Goalie, RJM Construction. Check them out at rjmconstruction.com. Tradition Companies, that's traditionco.com. Sportsman's Guide, be sure to go to their store right there in South St. Paul, Minnesota, off Concord and 494, just in the northeast corner there, and Brew Pub and lots of Matza Pizza, all right here at the mnhockey.tv.
Well, Pete, coming into the game, I wanted to see how Eden Prairie's body language was, how they handled their first couple shifts. This game is not too big for this Eden Prairie Eagles squad. They came ready to play. They have good focus, and now they have a chance on the power play. Face off to Loudon Hogue's right.
Face-off win by the Eagles. They play this down the left wing side. Wilhite had a hard time handling, and that's a gift for Reiners. He goes glass it out, as it's going to be Rosenlund to hang on to that one. And now back up ice they go with it with Keegan Langfels. He had a monster game yesterday in the semifinals against the Blaine Bengals, who grabbed that 2-0 lead in the first period. Eden Prairie, though, really, as Paul Ranheim told me, put the hammer down in the second and didn't look back. Langfels now to the left wing side. Stick handled to the front. That was John Middlestad. Tried to force a pass through to Wilhite, and that one deflects up off the net and will face off inside the Edina zone.
Well, Edina very good about allowing the periphery, the puck movement around the periphery. It's once you try to get between the dots is where they tighten up. 12:50 to go in the first period. 1:27 left in the penalty. Too many men on the ice, served by Mark Overman, junior center.
Edina with the draw. Cut off at the left point by the Eagles. John Middlestad down to the corner, bump the boards now for Jensen. Jack Jensen now looks back up. He's going to hang on to it. He's going to carry it to the top of the circle. Takes over and leaves off to Keegan Langfels. Give and go out of the corner. Now it's Luke Middlestad, Jack Jensen. They like to rotate off of this corner. and the Edina Hornets defense on the box, keeping them wide here. Back up to the top of the right circle, shot Langfells. Luke Middlestad wanted the deflection, didn't really get the screen, but had the stick there. But Hogue squares up and makes a nice save for the Edina Hornets.
Well, that was a good save by Hogue, just outside the blue. Really cut off all angles on that one. But Eden Prairie, out of their 7 goals scored in this tournament, 4 on the power play. So Edina knows the situation at hand.
Now it's going to be Keegan Langfells. Rink wide he goes to John Middlestad to the corner. Wilhite. Jack Jensen takes over from the right corner, now to the right circle. Up high they go to the right side. Langfells left point to John Middlestad. Ooh, behind the back pass, top of the right circle. Luke Middlestad. Jensen forces that one through. Rebound. Oh, a big rebound for John Middlestad, but blocking that. Going down to make the play was Edina's Jet Jungles. Wow, doing it all. The Mr. Hockey finalist showing why he's just that. Jensen now with 27 to go on the man advantage. Puck has not really left the Edina zone except for that first clear. Now it's going to be John Middlestad. Better hurry as Jungles gets on him. Played to an open wing, and nice job, Jet Jungles, penalty killing specialist. We never thought we'd say that.
Great shift. 32 goals on the year, and he's blocking shots and making plays.
Back up through center ice they go with it. Now it's going to be Luke Middlestad off to the right wing side for Drew Holt. Scores!
Oh, boy.
Drew Holt wires it from the right wing side, and the Eagles connect on the power play with 3 seconds showing on that. It's 1-0 Eden Prairie.
Well, Drew Holt, 13th tally of the year. Big goal for him. But just 3 seconds left on the Edina penalty kill. So very good timing by Eden Prairie. Now that boosts it to 5 power play goals out of their 8 attempts. So Edina's got to quit making a special point to stay out of the box. But it was a good shot. Beat Hogue on the glove side. Eden Prairie with an early 1-goal lead. 11:25 left in this first period. Leading in shots 5-1 so far. Edina's just got to stay out of the box, beat Wagner. Oh, he just missed it over his glove.
You know, Holt's been doing this since Pee Wee's.
Yeah.
He's had a missile shot, the right-handed shot. He's not afraid to shoot. I mean, it's tough for the righties to get those angles to shoot from there, but he can find that corner of the net, and you and I have seen him do that all year long.
Well, and I think he either used the Edina defender as a bit of a partial screen, so I don't know if Loudon Hogue actually saw that. If he did, he might have been able to save it, but Eden Prairie up early. Gives him some energy, up to Edina to respond.
Now it's Delaney to the right wing side, picked up by Malmquist. Argetsinger off him. Rosenlund will play that off to the left and decide to hang on as he and Cam Langfelds had a little bit of a communique issue, if you will.
Well, and he also saw Brett Chorsky closing down, and he's got that long reach, so I think he made a good decision. I think that these goaltenders, if they're going to get a chance to hold the puck, I think they're going to err on the side of caution, give their coaches a chance to get some fresh legs out there. Face off to Rosenlund's left. 11:07 left in the first.
Face off controlled by the Hornets, but quickly with the backhand off of the stick of Jones to center it goes. Blocked at the Edina line by Malmquist, and fighting his way through that was Garrett Smith to play that back in behind the net. Now it's Boltman to play this one up to the left wing side for Delaney, but Jensen peels that one away. Reiners is going to race to the corner with it, brings it up to the line. Cam Langfells wraps up Malmquist as that trickles up and into the bench area and out of play.
Well, I like the aggressive nature of the Eden Prairie Eagles defense. It was Malmquist that was very high in the zone along the right wall, but it was Cam Langfelds, as you said, that kind of jumped the route and really kind of contested that play. If Eden Prairie can play this effectively on the offensive blue, and that bodes very, very well, keep that puck in the Edina zone and make them come the full 200 feet.
Big face-off win, Morton for Edina as they play it to the right side of the net all the way around to the left of center. Colby wanted to be off to the races, but instead the Eagles cut it off. Wilhite, right circle, right into the midsection of Hogue. Shots on goal now 6-1 in favor of Eden Prairie and 1-0 on the scoreboard with 10:32 to go in the first.
Well, it was a breakout where Colby couldn't catch up with it, but it was a nice keep by Schultz on that one. And then it was Boltman kind of contesting Wilhite. He got a good shot on goal, but Hogue made a save look easy.
Colby now off the boards. You know, I mentioned that Paul Ranheim and I were chatting on text, and he said to me he thinks that Ole is looking down on us, of course, from heaven, as he passed away a year and a half ago, 2 years ago now. I mean, man, it seems like it was just yesterday. The great coach of the Eden Prairie Eagles and Chaska Hawks.
Always had a smile.
Died of a tough battle with melanoma, and, you know, he was clear for a while. It came back, and, you know, he had this club play so well defensively. That was really his area of expertise with this addition. Now it's going to be bumped off the board. Schultz, who's been terrific in the playoffs. Jungles plays to the slot, but nobody home. Wilhite bumps it over to the boards. Edina will get there first with Vorlicki to send that one in wide of Rosenlund, and Pager comes away with it. He has to hurry as the Hornets converge, bumped off the boards to center. On the tape now across the line, Batchelder wanted the shot, but that's blocked. Vorlicki does that so well. Gap control is terrific. Ahead to the right side. Peter Brady, time for a change. In on goal. Paid a visit.
Well, there it is.
Word.
But it was Vorlicki that actually jumped that route, pushed it up to Shoemaker, and Shoemaker just gained the zone, tried to go up into the dot, but he was contested, I believe, by Keegan Langfels. I got that shot off a little early. It was a bouncing puck that came to Rosenlund, but he made his body big and took away any variable on that one. So nice job by the Eden Prairie goaltender, but nice job by Vorlicki of the Edina defense. It's going to be a battle of defense, defensive pairing. So far, it's a wash, but I like the way that Eden Prairie's getting out of their zone with efficiency, and they're getting speed through the neutral zone, but they're also winning, creating space and winning battles to loose pucks. So Eden Prairie certainly came to play. I don't think Edina's quite found the rhythm yet, Pete.
Well, Eden Prairie's taken the rhythm. I think that's part of the problem there, and they're continuing to push the tempo. And to me, it was what we saw them do with Blaine yesterday. It's quite simple. Get the puck, get it out of the zone, make sure you play sound defensive hockey, and then let the offensive side take care of it.
Yeah, and even when Edina gets possession, they don't seem to have the spacing that they're used to having. They don't have the options available, but Eden Prairie's all over the puck carriers in a hurry. That's a real good sign for Coach Lee Smith. It's obvious that both teams are ready to play, but the Eden Prairie's showing up, and they're really dictating, as you said, the course of this play early in this contest. 9:29 left in the first period. Shots on goal, Eden Prairie 2, Edina 1.
Tonight's coverage presented in part by
I'll get it.
Brew Pub Pizza, lots of matzah. You can get them at your local grocer and convenience store. Sportsman's Guide in South St. Paul. They had their big KFAN Beyond the Pond event today. We're up to 60% was off on the store. You get all your outdoor needs. You can get it right there. They're a terrific group. Tradition Companies, you can find them at traditiongo.com. RJM Construction, and also Optimal Goalie with Larry Grace Jr.
Shots on goal, 6-2 Eden Prairie. I want to get that right, Pete.
Bump to center. Williams takes a swing at that miss. Now Jensen wanted to go inside out. On Vorlicki, a couple of potential Big Ten players there do battle, and Vorlicki wins that one. Now Jungles headed off to Northern Michigan to the left wing side. Jensen lost the handle. Another number 18 was there in the slot area for the Hornets, but that misfires. Holt, they missed him on a check. They got numbers. Holt shoots. Blocker pad save, rebound. A big save by Hogue. To the slot area it goes. Back at the center ice area, now it's going to be Luke Middlestad, plays that one over for Keegan Langfels. He's going to tuck that one back into the corner to the right wing side. Vorlicki with it for Edina. He's going to be muscled up to the right wing side for Liam Malmquist, who has arguably been one of the best players. I would put he and Dante Lawson as your top two performers here so far at the state tournament in each of the respective classes. Back to the corner now. Cam Langfels is there, cut off by Delaney. Back to the corner, left side of Rosenlund. Now the Hornets. Chorsky will come over, puts his back to the end line, tries to play it there. Now it's Boltman, shot that deflects just wide of the mark. Now Chorsky comes away with it from the right circle. Tries to cycle, but that's read neatly there by Rudrud. Gets away from Chorsky. He can move. Now Rudrud is stick checked at the line by Reiners. Eagles lose possession. Hornets regroup from right to left. Boltman takes it from the left dot ahead. Chorsky turns over. Look out. Jones has Batchelder, Stansberry rather, going to there. Smith. That was a 10 going to the net. We'll get it.
Yeah, Carson Jones with a shot from the left circle. Pretty good shot. Tried to go glove side, but Loudon Hogue flash of leather on that one. That was a big save, but there was a sequence that preceded that. It was Holt that made the shot. He went high on Loudon Hogue, but it was a follow-up where it really stressed the Edina Hornets out in their own zone. Edina kind of out of position to a certain degree, but Hogue picked him up when they needed him the most.
Now Hornets in control, back up the ice with 7:46 to go. Eden Prairie leading by a score of 1-0. On the stick of Schultz, bumps the boards to center. Smith loses the handle. Rudrud comes away with it. Stick handles to the left wing side. Rudrud at the hash marks, left side, stick save. Hogue to the corner it goes. Now it's Rugemer, knocked off his stick. The Eagles, shot and a save. Nice stick save to the corner. Right to the right side there by Hogue. He had to be quick on that one. Eagles will poke it to the corner with Schultz. Now it's going to be Williams with it off the board. Stepped up his Will Height. Now John Middlestat comes back. The Eagles will regroup. Pager with it now from the left side. Little backhand pass for John Middlestad. Tried to get it deep, but he hit Williams with it. And it's going to be Nevers. Oh, look out. Hit the linesman with that one. Sent right back into the Edina zone. Set up by Hogue. Vorlicke with it. Outlets to the right wing side. Off the glass to center. Will Height plays that back for Keegan Langfels. Now Luke Middlestad with it. Ahead it goes to the right wing side. Jensen gains the line. Nifty pass to the slot area. Broken up by who else but Mike Vorlicke. Now it's going to be Jungles in across the line. Looks to create. He's shut down by Luke Middlestad. You don't see many people beat Luke Middlestad, Bart. I'm telling you, I think the guy is a potential first rounder when he gets to his senior year.
Well, that was Jet Jungles, too, so that wasn't easy for him.
He's turned a lot of defensemen in this tournament up inside out and all year long. Jensen now across the line to the right circle. Wanted a stick handle to the corner. The Hornets know that, and it's going to be Boltman to cut it off. Batchelder plays it back to Langfels. That's going to be to the right wing side. Jensen plays it over across the line. Batchelder tries to work on Boltman, and it's going to be Reiners to the left wing side for Jungles. Outlets to the right wing side for Shoemaker. Lets one rip. That's blocked by Argetsinger. To the left corner it goes in the Eagle zone. Argetsinger's pass to the right wing side, cut off by Shoemaker. Now it's 2-18s again doing battle. Nevers and Jensen, and Nevers wins. Back up to the right point to Boltman, back behind to Nevers. Off the line it goes. Now it's going to be cut off by Luke Middlestad off the glass. Nifty play there. Not enough juice for an icing call as the Eagles can get a partial change. They get most of them off. Now they're going to bring the boards hard to the line as it goes to center. Here comes Nevers. He's got Malmquist. Oh, and a nice defensive play. Cam Langfels just goes down to the knee and pokes it with the stick. Goes old school. Looked like Freddie Barrett and Doug Hicks back there. In on goal. Stick save turned aside. Now it's Holt back in behind the net. Too far for Rudrud. And Chorsky dangles to the left wing side with a feed to Jungles. Jungles with a mega shift here. He's been out for a while. Looks like Dante Lawson. Now it's going to be Cam Langfels playing that one back, or Crystal and Hengler from the Eagles of the girls team last year with the 8-minute shifts. Off the side of the net it goes. There's a shot. That one by Jones. Stopped by Hogue. Wow, as he had to be on his game tonight. That's the 11th shot of the contest. 4:47 to go. It's 1-0 Eden Prairie. Williams bumps the end boards. It's going to be Vorlicke with it now. Ahead to the far side, left wing too far for Delaney, and icing the call.
Well, he's faced 11 shots, and a lot of them have been very stressful shots, too, from in tight. Eden Prairie showing great speed, working east to west, having Edina kind of chase the play, and they're winning the battle to the loose pucks, but the sequences are nice. They're able to sustain possession through a series of different passes. They're getting into the right areas. Edina's stressed out right now, and they're making plays that they aren't characteristically making. They're a possession team. They don't ice the puck. They don't chip it off the boards, but that's what Eden Prairie's forced them into right now with just solid positioning and good speed so far. But it's been all Eden Prairie, 3 shots on goal, 4:30 left in the first period.
You know, Bart, fact of the matter is I think a lot of people were kind of poo-pooing this game, that they'd seen this, been there, done that, but this is as a high skill, high level game as you and I have seen all weekend, and you know it ranks right up there at least as a start. The first 12 and a half minutes, as good of a period of hockey as I've seen.
Well, I think if you're the Eden Prairie coaching staff, you have to feel real good about it. I think the challenge now moving forward is just sustaining this, finishing the period very, very strong. But one thing Eden Prairie's been very good with is they've been very responsible with the puck. No turnovers to Edina. That's where they kind of make their bread and butter, is turnovers, turning it up in transition, and making the most of their opportunity. Pete, this Edina Hornet team has 129 5-on-5 goals this year. You take out the special teams goals, the power play goals, the shorthanded goals, 129 goals on 5-on-5. So far, Eden Prairie's been the better team 5-on-5.
Well, the way they've kept that top line of Shoemaker, Nevers, and Jungles at check is they have possession, and they're forcing them to have to defend now.
Absolutely.
Back in behind the net, it's going to be Reiners with it for Edina, up to the right wing for Malmquist as he finds an opening and sends that in. Back in behind Rosenlund. Bumped off the boards by Luke Middlestad. John Middlestad is there. Oh, it's 4:20. And now they'll try to play this one. John Middlestad is there. Controls the puck and tries to play it to the corner. Reiners bumps it off the boards. Too far for Jungles. And now it's going to be Luke Middlestad on the backhand to center ice it goes. Will Height off the skate. John Middlestad, nifty move to the outside, loads it up. Oh, that one nearly snuck through Hogue. He got the stick on that one.
Well, they're getting their shots at him. That one again from the right dot. Very popular area for Eden Prairie to set up and take the shots. They're working it into the zone on the right side, but Loudon Ho came out and outside the blue, so he has not waned on his confidence whatsoever. 12 shots on goal for Eden Prairie, only 3 for the Edina Hornets, and we just under 4 minutes to go in the first period. Eden Prairie up by 1.
Rudrud and Morton. Rudrud the clean draw. Argetsinger the shot. Ooh, that hit Holt on the way in, right in the back of the leg. As they'll try to play this one down the right wing boards. It's on the stick of Batchelder. Nice job by Colby to pickpocket him. Sent right back in by the Eagles, forced to touch up. Hornets freebie out of the zone. It's Vorlicki with it now. Bumps this one back in behind the net. Gets it back. Mike Vorlicki looks up the line. That's Argetsinger off him and back on the stick of Vorlicki now to the right wing side. That one's chipped off the glass and into EP territory. 3:25 to go in the first. The Eagles up the right wing side. Argetsinger finds his man across the line. Nice drop pass. Rudrud went up high over the top of the goal. He wanted to go glove.
That didn't miss by much.
Chorsky is pickpocketed at the line. Nice poke check there by the defense. That was Cam Langfels, I believe. Now it's going to be Batchelder with it across the line. Gets inside. Oh, a shot in the blocker pad save. Hogue has been terrific here tonight as he gets the stick up and turns that one up and out of play.
Well, that's what you need from good goaltenders is when your team is not on their game to pick them up and make some saves and let them weather the storm, so to speak. But really nice play by Batchelder. He came through the neutral zone with some speed, did a little side-to-side, created some space for himself, put a shot blocker side this time, but up and out of play.
Garrett Smith turns and shoots. That's off Reiners up to the line. Shoemaker makes a move. He gets stood up a little bit there by Pager. The Eagles back in possession. Jensen's going to tuck that one back into the right dot in the Edina zone. Now it's going to be Reiners going behind the net. Outlets right wing side. All the way over to the left off the skate of Jungles. And it's chipped off the glass to center. And the Eagles will chase into this one, but Boltman just swipes his stick at that and pokes it away. But now here comes Jensen. Oh, and they're offside at the line. Up on the far side, Garrett Smith couldn't quite get back on side as they were caught.
Well, a lot of activities. It was Mason Nevers that got the pocket picked by Jack Jensen, and that doesn't happen very often. Mason Nevers does not lose those battles, but that's what's been Eden Prairie's got the good feelings going, and things are working in their way. But, again, an offsides kind of limits what could have been a pretty good offensive opportunity. 2:30 to go in the first period.
Off the boards, wide of Hogue, and we'll bring it back into the Eagles zone.
Well, this would be one of the few times that there's going to be some bodies in the Eden Prairie Eagles zone other than Axel Rosenlund. It's been all Eden Prairie. From the red line in, they've gotten all the opportunities, 13-3 of the shots on goal. Edina's looking to build on that number right now with a face-off win.
They're not allowing Edina to hang out in the offensive zone at all. They're denying it, and when it does get deep, the defensemen are getting their pucks and getting them out of the zone quickly. There's Malmquist. He's dangerous. He can shoot it. Up high he goes. Now Vorlicki loads it up. He gives it back over to Malmquist. His shot's blocked by Keegan Langfels. And now it's going to be Rudrud to swing the boards up high. It's played back in behind by Williams. Chorsky was there. Rudrud tries to win the battle, plays it back into the low right corner. Wilhite comes through and chips to center. Now it's going to be gathered and played in by Vorlicki across the center ice. And down the corner it goes behind the net. To the left side of Rosenlund off the boards. John Middlestad there. Delaney bothers him, and Delaney wins the battle. Nice work with the stick there by the senior. That one just misses the mark. Back in behind the net it goes. Good shift here by this line for Edina. The best offensive zone pressure they've had. Now it's going to be Middlestad. Finds the oncoming Spencer Rudrud. Across the line they go. They misfire as Wilhite was on the move. Then he stopped. Stick slashed out of the hand, and a penalty coming up. This will be the Hornets' opportunity to tie it up. As it's now 1:26 to go in the period, Edina gets the man advantage.
Well, good sustained pressure by Edina, but then it was Eden Prairie that got out of the zone, but Edina cut that off at their blue line. It was Malmquist that turned up and tried to go up the right side, but it was Wilhite that actually got his stick underneath. I don't know if that was necessarily a penalty, but they did call it. He went stick to stick and it just knocked it out of his hands. In my day, that was a pretty good play, but now Eden Prairie in the box, Edina gets an opportunity to tie this game in the power play.
Well, we know all about the Edina power play, Bart. There's tons of talent on it. It's been effective. A big face-off win by the Hornets, but to center it goes. One of the men manning the point is Nevers. He retrieves and gets it back over to Vorlicki back in behind the net. All the way around to the side it goes as the Hornets Jungles comes away with it. Now it's going to be Vorlicki down to Nevers. Nevers fakes the shot, then gets an opening, but that's blocked. And back up comes Nevers to gather this one in. Mason Nevers back in behind. Nevers now with it. Looks back to the top of the right. Kicked over from Jungles to the corner. Malmquist back up for Jungles. Fakes the shot. Nevers misses the mark. That one all the way around to the right wing side. Jensen gets there. Jungles as well. Jungles keeps. Now it's Malmquist, top of the right circle. Gives back down to Jungles. Shallow angle. Stopped and knocked away there by Rosenlund. Now it's going to be just ripped down the ice by Jensen as they get the change. It was a little more juice than I think you want, Bart. It's like such a hard thunder off the end boards. Here come the Hornets again. Now it's going to be back to the right wing side by the Eagles. Holt wins a battle. He has a 2-on-1 shorty. Holt with it. Now he's got Redroot. Holt's going to hold. Shoots. Blocker pad save. Oh, talk about confidence. The sophomore likes to shoot it. Looks like Dino Cicerelli out there. Turned aside there by the goaltender. Wow, Loudon Hogue. But you know what? You want to get the shot on goal when you're shorthanded. That's always a good play.
You want to force the goaltender to make a play. It was Rudrud coming in on the left side, but I think it was Borlecki that did a nice job of really taking that option away. But you're right, very confident. Went off a stick,
hit the
shaft. And that was taking it from Blocker's side. So Loudon Hogue, another big save. 49 seconds left on the penalty to Wilhite.
As a shooter, how frustrating is that?
Well, it's frustrating, but you just have to get back on the horse and try it again.
Reiners brings Holt down back in behind the net. They go down together. 5 to go in the period. Hornets with one last rush. Boltman's just going to wind up and send it in. Rosenlund, the glove save, plays off to his left. What a period of hockey if you're the Eden Prairie Eagles. 1-0 the score. Edina's explosive. Coming back from one down is nothing for them. But, you know, if you're Lee Smith and Paul Ranheim and Tom Gertis, got to like how things have shaped up for your club in period number 1.
Oh, no question about it. They were the better team in that period. They dominated really the possession in the zone. They were very speedy, very quick. It's just the challenge is sustaining this through the next period, but they're going to get a great opportunity. Edina gets a chance to start. 34 seconds left on the penalty to Wilhite, so they'll come out on the power play. I'm sure Edina is going to get grounded, refocused. The coaching staff is too competent to let this one get away, but as you said, Pete, they're only one good shot down.
They are one good shot down. 13-5 are the shots for the period. 34 seconds in the Wilhite slashing penalty. We're going to take 15 minutes here. We're going to hear from our sponsors. We know a lot of you have us queued up on the television, so enjoy as much as you can, and be sure to check them out as well. Back with more right after this. High school hockey continues right here at the mnhockey.tv. It's a state tournament at its finest, and we're happy to bring in the architect, one of the guys that has a lot to do with putting this together. Brad Berrickman is the Vice President of Community with RJM Construction out of Golden Valley, and they've done a lot of these beautiful structures that we see that our kids get to play in, that we get to participate in as adults and play the great game of hockey. And Brad and his company are also partners with the Herb Brooks Foundation, which is a big reason why we're here today. So, Brad, without further ado, thanks a lot for joining us here between periods.
Happy to be here, Pete.
So I love this topic because I was intimately involved in a specific build-out of a building at the Hopkins Pavilion. I've utilized the rock at the St. Louis Park Rec Center. Those are two of your more recent jobs that I've been a part of, and you guys continue to churn them out. Can you tell us a little bit about how your firm got involved in the hockey arena space?
So it really started with the founders of the business, Bob Josart and Joe Maddie. And the very first ice arena project that we ever did down in Phoenix, Arizona, as well as Plymouth, Minnesota. We kind of got that niche on those first two projects, and then gained a knowledge base there that expanded here today.
What have you found in terms of municipalities, whether it's cities, not many privately owned rinks here? As far as their needs and what they need, obviously there's a budget constraint, but you have to make money too to keep your doors open. How have you been able to work with the municipalities, and have you found that to be an easy process?
It's definitely an easy process, and what we've found over the years is they're building facilities that are 50-plus year facilities. So they're really building for the longevity and the operational efficiency. Really enjoy working with the cities and building them something that will last into the future.
Can we talk a little bit structurally about the rock? Do you care if we go there for a second? Okay, we'll not use that. Let me pause for a second so I can see the break. Let me see something here. Are these her notes for you or not? Can I see those real quick? I should have printed them off.
Cool. We're cool.
So in terms of what you guys do to put together projects, there's a lot of details that go into play. I mean, it goes from refrigeration to structures to, I'm sure there's a lot of code that you got to meet as far as what has to be done. How deep into this do you have to go as an organization to make sure everything is right as you build?
So our experience, like I say, our refrigeration partners can build ice anywhere. Our job is to give them a building envelope that basically encapsulates that whole thing. Important factors, I think, goes without saying, the insulation of the structure itself. So we work with our design partners to come up with the most efficient insulation systems to house these ice boxes, as well as dehumidification units is one of the more critical components within the facility as well.
Do you find are there different needs in the dehumidification from facility to facility? Some are renovations, and some are build-outs. What I think, to me, just being a novice, that would be a heck of a challenge, especially with our summers.
For sure. I mean, when you're dealing with an existing building structure, you have to take that into account. Building envelopes constructed in the 60s and 70s didn't have the technology that we have out there today. So you can really run into condensation issues and things like that if the building envelope isn't technically up to code.
So when you guys take on a project, it's usually probably a bid. I'm sure that's how it works in the industry, correct?
Typically when we're working with the municipalities, we act as the construction manager. So we're involved in the process from basically the onset. We work along with our design partners, and I say that the clients get their best value with the involvement of a builder such as RJM Construction early on during the design, to have our input on cost and technology side up front during the design. I guess over time, with our involvement during the pre-construction, you can save a significant amount of money during the design.
Let's talk a little bit about the tree rink that you guys worked on. I mean, it's an incredible vibe in there. Now, when you did that, did you start on the roof, or was that in the building? Can you kind of walk us through that project?
So there was interior demolition that occurred early on, but they basically built the rink facility on top of that parking structure. One of the cooler features of that project was we actually had to lift a crane on top of the roof with another crane to start erecting that facility. So that was pretty incredible means and methods. Something we're really proud of.
How delicate was that? I mean, so not only are you lifting a crane with the crane, but you're on top of the demo with the crane, and you don't want to see the structure come down.
A lot of engineering involved, and a lot of pre-planning meetings and coordination with the city to block off the streets and things like that.
So then you've got the big window that is on what I believe is that kind of the southwest side of the building, something like that. And there's the tinted glass that can be controlled. Was that something that you guys were a part of? And if so, how did that all come about?
So we were involved in the pricing aspect of that during the design. Value is always at the forefront during the design and engineering, and we were definitely involved in cost solutions for that.
The locker rooms that you did at the Hopkins Pavilion, the greatest part about that project was every high school team that went in there just hated going in there because you could fit about 3 guys per room. They're so small. And then they're just massive. You could almost fit a varsity and JV team in some of those new locker rooms. Is that kind of a trend that you guys are seeing, is to get more space for locker rooms for everybody?
So there is a lot of thought put into the size of the locker rooms. As a hockey parent myself, I understand what it's like to get your kids dressed. I have a first-year mite in some of the tiny locker rooms in some of the older facilities. So that's definitely front and center of my mind, as well as our design partners.
And then in terms of other things that you're seeing, so if there were structures that were built, let's say, when I think of like the larger facilities that were maybe built in the mid-90s and how they've evolved to today and how things have changed, has there been a going trend that you've noticed as far as some of the upgrades and features that you guys are putting into rinks right now today?
Definitely on the refrigeration systems and just the building envelope technology that's out there today. Is significantly better than it was 25 years ago. So there's a lot of thought and consideration that goes into the building envelope that houses these facilities. And another common trend that I'm seeing, a lot of the facilities that we built the initial sheet of ice for, they're adding second sheets. And it seems like some of the larger communities are all starting to add second sheets of ice and finding that benefit in their programming.
2 more questions for you here as we're rolling through the period break. To me, I would call it 3/4 outdoor rink. It's like a 3/4 indoor rink. The covered rink kind of was a trend for a little bit there. And you guys were able to really get something quite creative and look and feel for the St. Louis Park Rec Center. Can you talk about the processing that went into that and what you guys were thinking as far as vibe you were trying to pull off there?
So that was kind of I guess what I would call a centerpiece or a focal point of that facility. Something that captures kind of the old school hockey feel with the wood purlins and some of the older arenas, but yet something that's kind of nostalgic in the new outdoor games that you see in the NHL and college hockey as well. So trying to capture that all into one piece.
It's incredibly well done, and what it lends to is some really incredible acoustics, too. So when you watch a game, you get some really good sounds out of that. It's super cool. But the first thing, it's funny you say that I thought of, when I look at that roof in that building, I think of the old Minnetonka Ice Arena where they painted it up. It's too bad. But do you remember that when it was all wood?
I do. I played in that as a peewee. Growing up in a hockey tournament, and that's the first thing that I thought of when I saw that completed as well.
So it wasn't just me.
No.
Yeah, that's really good. And finally, as Vice President of Community, obviously the Herb Brooks Foundation is a terrific vehicle that everybody is well aware of. That's really keeping the game flowing, alive, and creating opportunities for everybody to be able to play the game. Can you talk about your relationship with Herb Brooks Foundation?
We are very proud to be a part of the Herb Brooks Foundation. Have been for all the time that I've been here at RJM, and definitely proud to be a part of that.
Brad, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Pete.
We'll be back with more right after this. We continue our between periods coverage here at the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament, and we're joined by a very special guest. He's known as Matza Matt. He from Brew Pub Pizza and Lots of Matza. Matt, thanks for joining us here today. I know you're a busy guy, and we got lots to talk about. You've got some great product and some of the best ingredients in your pizzas for sure.
Hey, thanks, Pete. Thanks for having me. Yeah, absolutely. Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas. Really, the ingredients for a great time, whether you're listening to a hockey game or whether you're enjoying the game and you want a treat afterwards, Brew Pub Lots of Matzas are the way to go. Made with the finest ingredients, Pete. We've got the finest quality meat and veggie ingredients. We've got, of course, a couple of different varieties, too, that folks love, like the Mac Attack, which is a macaroni and cheese pizza. And then the best thing, the one thing that sets Brew Pub Lots of Matza pizzas apart from the rest, over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. I've never heard anybody say, whoa, hold on the cheese. That's too much cheese. So we definitely have a great amount of cheese. We've got the great sauce and that thin crust for Brew Pub Lots of Matza pizzas. It's the best around.
So seriously, whenever you buy a pizza from the grocery store, there's never enough cheese. But I have always known when I buy one of those, the Brew Pub Lots of Matza, I'm more than pleased, more than happy, and it is perfect. You're right, the crust totally grooves. And here's the best part is between periods, what we do know is people like to get up, they like to move around. Now is the time, the oven's already heated up, throw it in there, and it doesn't take that long to have these things out and ready because you're not baking a loaf of bread.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, pizzas are the answer, whenever you're having friends over, or if it's it's a traditional Friday night pizza for the family, for mom and dad and the kids or whatever the case may be, Brew Pub Lots of Matza pizzas are the way to go. And the one thing I love about too, it's a filling pizza. Like, you buy some of the other brands that they just, you have one piece, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're just not satisfied. With the Brew Pub Lots of Matza, man, with those ingredients, with that cheese, you have a couple of pieces, and boom, you are taken care of. It's a very hearty and just a great pizza.
Except no substitutes. The others are basically an appetizer. This is the meal. So let's talk about some of the things that you guys do. You've got some really cool things coming up, and especially supporting law enforcement. Matt, can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with that?
Yeah, absolutely. We're a local company, Pete. We've got a production facility in Maple Lake, Minnesota, so made right there. We've got a production facility in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. And one thing about Bernatello's Foods, Bernatello's is the the company that owns the brew pub Lots of Matza, and we've got other brands as well. But we really support our veterans. We really support our law enforcement. We feel that it's very important to give back to those who serve us on a regular basis, an everyday basis. And so coming up here in May during National Law Enforcement Week, we're actually going to be tag teaming with a couple of different police departments, like one down in Sioux City. We're going to tag team with the Sioux City Police Department, the Edina Police Department, and then we're going to also tag team with Wausau PD over in Wisconsin. And we're going to host an event called Pizza with Police. The public is invited to come out, purchase a slice of pizza and a soda, and then we're going to donate that money back to a nonprofit organization. For example, in Minnesota, it's going to go back to Minnesota Law Enforcement Memorial Association, and they help pay for the funerals of men and women who have lost their lives in the line of duty. So a phenomenal organization, and we love giving back to veterans as well. So again, just a couple of groups of people that we really love to take care of.
That is absolutely incredible and great stuff by your organization. And how can anybody that's listening to this support and be a part of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can first of all go to your local grocery store and pick up a brew pub Lots of Matza pizza all over the Twin Cities area, actually all over the upper Midwest, extend down to Kansas City.
Sorry, folks, had to cut the Lots of Matza product off there, but go ahead. You guys get the gist. They do some great stuff in the community, and they are a big supporter of hockey, especially in and around the Twin Cities area, and for you Edina fans as well. Congratulations to the Crusaders of St. Cloud Cathedral. Winners by a score of 5-2 over the Greenway Edition. Yeah, the Cinderella, the slipper was turned in.
Well, indeed it was, but it didn't turn into a pumpkin at midnight. But I think actually the Raiders showed themselves very, very well. They kind of inched their way into the hearts of Minnesota hockey fans. A good showing by Greenway. But as you said, congratulations to the Crusaders. They earned it tonight. Boy, there's some good players in Class A. And when I hear people disrespect them, it's obvious that they don't watch. But it was a terrific championship game in the Class A level. We got a pretty good one right here, Pete.
You know, it's the start of a period when the Hornets start their deal. And one of the things with the band, anyway, you hear the band working it.
Yeah. Well, we'll take you through a quick summary of the first period on the power play. The 5:35 marker was Drew Holt scoring his 13th from Luke Middlestat. Shots on goal, Eden Prairie 13, Edina with 5, and Eden Prairie with a couple of wide shots as well, so that number could even indeed be a little larger. Loudon Hogue, most valuable player for the Hornets in that first period. We're getting ready to go.
Face-off slapped into the Edina zone, that by Jack Jensen. 30 seconds of power play time for Edina. They're going to move from left to right across your screen, and now it's going to be off the stick of Jungles. Jensen rolls on Chorsky, who's going to have to regroup and get back on side as the puck is rung around the boards. Now Luke Middlestad with it. Back behind the net. Chorsky's trouble. Gets Malmquist with it. Now it's going to be Jungles up high from the right side. They find Vorlicki. He's got that wrister. Misses the mark. Ooh, they try to go backdoor, shallow angle. Then the return shot over the top of the net. The Eagles are at full strength. Jensen tried to one-hand that pass. Nevers didn't work, and the Hornets regroup back in behind the net. Up high to the slot. Jungles couldn't quite pull the trigger. It rolled off his stick. Now it's going to be Keegan Langfells with it as he looks up ice. Batchelder knocked off his stick. Jensen gets it back. We're just about 1 minute into the second period. Hogue makes the stick save. That's off the left corner with Boltman out of the zone. Gets away from Smith, undresses him through the neutral. There's a shot that's off the stick of Langfells. They're getting sticks on every one of these Hornet snipers' weapons before they can get the shot off. Now it's going to be Smith up ice as they're going to be stopped and the Eagles regroup. Jones will send this one back in behind. Behind the net they go with it. Now it's going to be Reiners playing this one up high for Jungles. Misses the mark. Singer comes away with it. He's going to tuck it in on the purposeful dump in as it's going to be Garrett Smith waiting for it from the left wing. Wanted Rudrud, but that was picked off by the Hornet defense. That's Reiners back into the neutral zone. Cam Langfells gathers, plays over to Singer on the right side, back to Cam Langfells. He's a smooth-looking young sophomore defenseman, Bart Archer. Put him together with Middlestad over the next 2 years. That's going to be something. Now it's going to be Jones who goes down back in behind the net. but Rudrud hammers in on Morton. Now it's going to be Jones wins the battle, gets the stick on that one. Plays this one back into the corner. Morton stood up on the play by Rudrud. Reiners now rings the wall up high for Rugemer. He finds the oncoming Morton across center. Plays this one back in and around. Gets away from Roseland. Got to cut those off for you young goaltenders at home. It's going to be picked up now. It makes it a lot easier on the breakout. Now it's going to be handled and really keeps them from getting done what they want in the offensive zone. Now it's going to be Wilhite that's there. Back to the corner it goes. Wilhite again. Up to the line, Argetsinger, snapper. Ooh, that one went off Hoag's stick, and back in behind the net it goes. Jensen pokes this one to the corner. Holt fights through that one. Now it's going to be Shoemaker with it. He carries up ice, has some real estate, watched by Pager, has nothing to do but play it in deep and hard. Hornets are content to get it in behind the defense now. They want to dump it in. We've seen that pretty much in the early going here instead of the possession and the zone entry. Now Holt plays that one left wing side for Pager. They have energy across the line. The Eagles on the move. Back shallow angle. Stick saved by the goaltender Hoag, and in hard to the net area goes Eden Prairie's Jack Jensen with Mason Nevers. Where 118 goes here, Bart, the other 18 goes.
Indeed, and 20's not too far behind either for Edina, and that's Vorlicki. They need his size and strike. Jensen, not a small man, but has a nose for going to the net, and that's exactly what he did. But net off the moorings, initiated by Vorlicki on that one, so face off to Hoag's right. 14:03 left in the second period.
Lilliard is there, plays that one off the face-off. Hornets clear it with a hand. What do we have here? They say he closed his hand on that puck.
I think he did, and that should come all the way down, I'm thinking. But, it was the defenseman, I think it was Clayton Schultz, that took a good shot. But Loudon Hoag, it didn't mean anything, but he made a save. And the more he can touch the puck and make saves like that, his confidence is going to grow a little bit. 15-5 shots on goal. Edina had a pretty good sequence coming out of the period break on the power play. They actually had some offensive zone time, worked the puck around, and seemed to kind of settle them down. But you're right, they're usually a possession team into the zone, and then they either go to the net or they set up. But now they're just dumping it deep and getting after the defenseman with an aggressive forecheck. Their angles haven't been pristine, so to speak, but they're just trying to change the flow of the game and make Eden Prairie at least come the full 200 feet. But Edina has a better chance to stop the forward rush if they have that 200 feet to work with.
High school hockey continues right here at the MNHockey.tv.
This is Andy Schlepper-Span of the U.S. Women's Olympic Hockey Team and a 2008 graduate of St. Cloud Cathedral High School. You are listening to the Minnesota State High School League State Tournament. We are the league. This is
High school hockey coverage continues right here at the MNHockey.tv. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Edina and Eden Prairie, it's 1-0 with 13:59 to go in the period. Our coverage presented in part by Optimal Goalie, RJM Construction, Tradition Companies, Sportsman's Guide, and Brew Pub, lots of matzo pizza. All the way back down into the Eagle zone it goes. It's going to be Chorsky and Jensen. And Jensen for the Eagles gets the draws. They go Langfels to Middlestat, left to right. Back up to center. Batchelder stood up by Reiners in front of the Edina bench area. And the Hornets will send that right back in. Rosenlund clears it to no man's land. And there's a quick turnaround shot by Malmquist at the net. Getting a little bit casual behind the net there. Got to lock that in. That's going to become a problem here, Bart. If I'm the Hornets, I'd keep forcing the goaltender to handle the puck. And they're going to get some breaks there. I can see it coming.
Well, it's just the little things. You have to pay attention to the small details because they can compound into bigger situations. But you're right. If you're going to play the puck, make sure you make the responsible
Cut it
play.
off, set it up, let your D-men have a chance, and don't throw it to open wings for the sake of throwing it there, and don't go out for skates. You're not a D-man. Now it's going to be Reiners with it. That's what I tell my tendies. Back up to the line. Now it's going to be handled by the Eagles. Down low on the circle. Holt takes the shot. That one misses the mark. Cam Langfels down the wall it goes. Edina now. Reiners. Now Cam Langfels takes it back. He's going to send that one right back in behind the net. Hoag cuts that off behind. It's going to be Boltman back up for Malmquist, who looks ahead to center. Here come the Hornets across the line. That's going to be Colby back in deep. He's going to chase his own puck. They want to play behind the defenseman. Someone broke a stick. That's Argetsinger. They need him to have a twig. Now Morton walks out. Up high they go. Over to the right side for Vorlicki. Slaps that one back in behind too far for Colby. Now Rudrud gets a stick in on him. Rudrud pokes it free. Oh, that's a big break for the Eagles. Jones plays that one down. Here comes Jones. Delayed penalty on the right side. Muscling in. Goes hard into the net as he was brought down on the play. That's good old school hockey there. Carson Jones, little edgy, gritty player there. But a penalty behind the play is going to be called on the Hornets.
Well, it was Rugemer that just got his stick in the wicket, so he's going to go for a penalty for Edina. And then it was Eden Prairie forward that Carson Jones went really aggressively into the net, but it was just a stick that got between the legs of Rudrud, kind of stopped his forward progress, but it was Jones on the continuation, used his edges, tried to get through. Vorlicki took him down. He went in hard with Loudon Hogue, net off the moorings. Loudon Hogue doesn't appear to be any worse for the wear. I was more worried about Vorlicki because he's not quite as well protected, and he's got his helmet back up. He looks like he's a little bit shaken up, but he should be just fine. But another great opportunity for Eden Prairie on the power play.
Well, we'll see how this one works. They like to work it off the right side. Face-off would be from the left dot, but they love to get Luke Middlestad over off the sideboards there by the hash marks. They're going to have John Middlestad up on the top left. Keegan Langfels on the right. Two left-hand shots up at the point. Jensen to take the draw, gets it. John Middlestad makes a move down the wall on Nevers. Now Wilhite bumps the boards to the corner. Right side, there it is for Luke Middlestad. Back to the corner for Jensen. Jensen now up to the line to Keegan Langfels. Walks and shoots. That one misses the mark. Now it's going to be John Middlestad with it. Walks this one back in behind for Wilhite. Jack Jensen plays it around for Luke Middlestad. He protects the puck to the corner. Tries to play it to the open wing from the left corner, follows it all the way through. Now he's going to take it up high to the left side. Uncharted territory for the talented defenseman on the power play. They walk this back door. Oh, and a wide open net. Jensen goes down to one knee and goes, no way. Now it's going to be Middlestad with it as he plays this one down the wall. Quick pass up high. That's deflected. Glove down neatly there by Langfels. Nifty move inside out. Keeps it alive. Jensen saves it now. Up high to the right circle. Back down low to Jensen. His shot deflects. Saved by Hogue. And he covers that one up. 1:05 to go in the power play. We'll see if the Eagles put the next unit out or what they do with it.
Well, it looks
At
like
least three are coming over.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to get some fresh legs out there. Now the other two come out as well. But really good sequence by Eden Prairie. They kept the puck alive, put it into an area where they could catch up to it, got inside about the hash marks. And it
Five
was
forwards.
And it was, oh, wow. He knows the situation. But Jack Jensen tried from a shallow angle to chip one over the goalie, but Hogue kept it out of the net. 11:28 left in the second period. 1:05 left in the penalty to Rugemer for Edina.
Got to get the draw. Rudrud with it now. Lays it over to the right wing side. They play this one back in behind the net. Carson Jones mishandles there, but Rudrud takes over as Chorsky's canceled, and that's going to be an interference call on Jones.
Oh, he got a little aggressive on that one. Interference call, as you said.
He cut him off.
He did cut him off. Didn't give him a chance, but now it balances it out, at least for 54 seconds, barring another penalty. But 4-on-4, I'd say in most cases, Edina would have an advantage with their team speed, but the way this Edenbury team has been playing and the speed that they've shown, I think it's pretty much a wash, but a lot of space out there for these talented players to move.
In 1984, that would have been a great play.
Yeah. Those were the days. The game has changed a little bit.
That might border on ticky-tack, to be honest with you, but we'll leave it at that.
Well, it was just they both had their pass, and it was Chorsky that actually ran into him, but referee saw it a little different. 4-on-4 for a while.
It looked like it from here, like an interference to me, but off we go. 4-on-4 now. Bart for another 43. Edina gets a power play after that. Chorsky looks to battle along the wall. John Middlestad comes away with it. He walks it to the left wing side. He'll take a shot that misses the mark. Back up high to the right point it goes. It's going to be Schultz. Bumps it hard off the boards behind the net. Reiners will be there. He has Wilhite hounding on him as they'll play it up to the line. They find a man in front. Oh, that's John Middlestad that tried to backpedal and pump that one through. Now across the line, it's going to be stopped by the Eagles, John Middlestad. It's glued to his stick here on this shift. Across the line. Actually, the whole postseason, he's been phenomenal. Plays this to the right wing side. The Eagles control 4-on-4. That's deflected by Malmquist up out of the zone, and on the ice comes Rugemer. Now it's going to be a 5-on-4 for the Hornets for another 58 seconds. Malmquist walks along the goal line, forces his way through. Chorsky wanted to tuck that one shelf, missed the mark. Delaney now with it as he's going to play it over to the right side for Vorlicki. He's dangerous. They've had the opening on the right side. Delaney couldn't pull the trigger because guess what? There was an Eden Prairie stick that got there. Complete commitment to closing on players here defensively.
Yeah, that was Clayton Schultz too. They're very well aware when Jungles and Malmquist are on, and they're not giving them any time and space.
There's some space taken by Jungles. He has speed back in behind the corner. This is where he's dangerous. Plays this one up to the line. Vorlicki fans on it. Batchelder. Oh, he reels it in. Batchelder has Jensen with him. Batchelder loads it up. Oh, hits the post off the glove of Hogue, who made the initial save. Carter Batchelder nearly with a shorty. Now it's going to be Jungles. Leaves up for Nevers. Top of the right circle. Too far for Liam Malmquist. Off the boards, up to the line. 7 in the man advantage. Now there's a shot by Malmquist, partially blocked off the stick there of Rosenlund. Now it's Jungles, mishandles. Uh-oh, here they go. Carson Jones. He's got speed, though, but speed with Jungles watching him. Batchelder shoots. Oh, and another stick save made by Hogue. What chances here by the Eagles in the second period?
Well, it was a misplay at the offensive blue line for the Edina Hornets, and it was when Eden Prairie was coming out of the zone. Jones picked up the puck, and it was Jungles who tried to close time and space, and then he took them out of the play but left it back. It was a 2-on-1 for Eden Prairie. Puck just deflected up and over the net, but trying time for Edina. They survived, but Eden Prairie with a nice kill. Pretty decent power play for the Edina Hornets. Certainly room for improvement, but at least they got some looks. They got some opportunities, fanning a couple of chances, but Eden Prairie is just not going away, and they're not changing their game, which I think is very important. It's working for them, and a lot of times if you get a lead against a favorite, you tend to change the game a little bit. They haven't done that, and that's a credit to the players and the coaching staff as well. But I think Edina looked a little nervous coming into this game. I think it's just the expectations. Everybody expects so much out of this Edina Hornet team. They haven't found their rhythm quite yet, but it seems like they're slowly getting there. It's a bit of a slow burn, but Eden Prairie's been very impressive so far in the first period and a half of this game.
They've been getting sticks on sticks. When the Edina shooters get the puck, they close on them quickly. They've gotten some timely saves. Edina, though, 9:06 to go in the second period. 5 shots on goal, Bart Archer. I mean, that is an insane number. Think about a team that ripped 66 on goal against Lakeville South.
Well, and Edina's averaging about 34 shots a game for, but only 22 against, and Eden Prairie's are already at 17. So obviously the trends are starting to change a little bit, but Edina looks very calm. They understand the situation right now, but this is a team that's not used to playing from behind, and it just looks like the puck is rolling on them. They're almost pressing and trying a little bit too hard, but they are going to the net to a certain degree, but Eden Prairie's done a good job of blocking out and giving Axel Rosenlund a chance to see this puck.
The best part about state tournament, sectional playoffs, and what you get when you get into here is you see kids who are really good players when the season opens evolve into better and better players as they grow throughout the year. And then you see other guys really born as players at the high school level. And I'm thinking of guys like Carter Batchelder, Cam Langfels, those types of guys who are sophomores. A lot expected from them. Drew Holt's another. You start seeing them getting better and better, and they're peppered all over everybody's lineup. Now here comes Jungles to the right wing side for Malmquist. Malmquist with it. Now they've got a shot on goal there, handled by Rosenlund. A quick whistle.
It was a good play by Malmquist, a left-handed shot coming up the right side. He just cut toward the dot and put a good shot on Rosenlund, but he held firm, but and then he rolled back. And what was the whistle about, Pete?
I think he thought the puck was covered.
Oh, okay. Well, faceoff's going to be to Rosenlund's left. 8:57 left in the second period. Nevers going to be in the faceoff dot against Jack Jensen.
The 18s once again. Hornets have put all their eggs in one basket with the Malmquist Jungles Nevers line now instead of keeping them separated like they did the first 2 games of the tournament. Now it's going to be Jungles with it again as he looks to the right wing side for Malmquist. He'll take this one across the line, puts on the brakes. Again, a stick is right there as he shoots that one up off the netting with 8:39 to go in the second period.
Well, I think what he had in mind is they were going stride for stride. Him and Nevers were coming into the zone. But it was Luke Middlestadt that actually interrupted. So Malmquist checked up, put a shot on goal, but Middlestadt busy stick up and into the netting. So nice defensive play again by the Eden Prairie defenseman.
Morton, Jensen.
I don't think Jensen's been thrown out of a faceoff yet.
No, he was the entire night. Was it night 1 or 2? I think it was the quarterfinal round game.
He's minding his P's and Q's.
Holt, look out. Tries to carry it himself off the boards. That's going to be cut off by Rugemer. And now it's going to be Cam Langfels up the left wing side. Holt gets it. He has Batchelder. Quickly gets it to him. Batchelder looks to go inside out on Williams as they come together in the Edina zone left side of the net. Off the boards. Cut off now by Jensen. Jensen comes away with it, although momentarily a little help from Batchelder stays with it. Now the puck is on the stick of Rugemer. 3-on-2 if they hurry, but Holt looks like he's going to pick up a man. Off to the bench goes Morton on goal. Now it's handled there by the goaltender Rosenlund and back into Edina territory. Oh, Vorlicki pulled up on that, just sort of let it go to the end. I would have washed that one off, Bart Archer.
Well, you're probably right. He had an opportunity to make a play, but it was Holt that tried to spring Batchelder once again. Boy, those are two speedy forwards for this Eden Prairie Eagles squad. They've created fits, but I thought Nick Williams did an outstanding job of winning the race to the puck, using his body to shield the puck and sending it up the wall. So nice job by the Edina defenseman.
Malmquist now in on another shift as he's doubling up. Hornets are serious here.
Yeah,
they're not messing around. Off a stick. Delaney checked on a play there. Now it's going to be Schultz. Delaney back from the corner. Pager plays that away from the stick. Finds Jones as Jones will carry this one up through center. Leaves it off at the line. Oh, they got Smith in front. Jones. Pad save made there by Hogue. What a great chance there by the Eagles.
Saving the game so far.
And in the neutral zone, they make a terrific defensive play off the stick of Smith. Back in front of the bench area it goes. There's Chorsky. Now it's going to be Schultz with it off the glass. Glove down by the Hornet defense at center. That's Boltman hit the linesman right on the boards with that. Ooh, down goes Jensen. No call there. They got away with one. And it's going to be Boltman with 7 minutes and 2 seconds to go. He's sent packing on the play there on the forecheck, but finds Reiners anyway. That check thrown there by Rudrud in front of the Eden Prairie bench. Chorsky checked on the play, and it's going to be Pager back in behind the net. Now Pager will wind up for the Eagles. Legal gets away from Jungles, leaves it off to the right wing side. They break the forecheck. Slash coming up to Edina. Here's the goaltender's off blocker pad save, pushed aside by Nevers as he's going to touch it, and the Eagles will get the power play. Slash came up back in behind the play.
Boy, and Sam Pager is fired up. Did a great job of navigating his way through traffic out of the zone, kicked it up a little bit, and that's what happens when you move your feet. United takes another penalty, but I was very impressed with the way Pager, with his moxie, made that happen. But to back it up, it was Garrett Smith that did a nice turn and fire, put it right on the stick.
Beautiful.
Carson Jones and Loudon Hogue, nice side to side. He made his body big and took away the high percentage shot.
Commitment to the back check, commitment to taking sticks. These are all things you can control. As you always say in hockey, you can control your attitude, effort, and putting a stick in a guy's stick. If you don't want to do that, you're not going to have a lot of success. The Eagles are doing that here tonight.
Right. The little things are what brings you the success in the championship game. And so far, Eden Prairie's checked all those boxes. Now they just have to sustain that. But Edina's got a challenge being a man down.
Back up to the line it goes. Now it's going to be Langfells. Keegan Langfells down to the corner. Eagles with it now. It's going to be Luke Middlestat. He'll look back up to Langfells. Keegan Langfells to John Middlestat. Back into the corner. Back up to the line. John Middlestat. Now it's going to be Keegan Langfells to the right wing side. They're going to walk and shoot. Stopped by Hogue. He's been absolutely huge here for Edina. Shot number 20 for the Eagles. Now John Middlestat with it. Looks to the left side. One-timer. Pad save. Rebound. Oh, Hogue sprawls. Looks behind him. Terrific save there. A bullet from Keegan Langfells. That Hogue spins, turns, and covers up in the crease.
He's done everything he can to keep this Edina within a good shot away, but it was Jack Jensen waiting in the wings, so that was a good blistering shot. Found its way to the goaltender. Hogue knew he made the save, kind of unsure where the puck was, so he tried to just make himself big and lie down and take that away. Edina, good support, blocking people out, but a lot of Eden Prairie Eagles around that net, so they know the situation and nary a second chance. Nice job by Hogue.
1:29 to go here in the power play. 6:02 in the period. Cut off at the line by Langfells behind the net. Wilhite comes away with it, plays it to an open corner as Jensen takes it over. He's got such strength and balance, can't knock him off the puck. Carries it up high, takes a slapper, blocker pad save to the right corner by Hogue. Now it's going to be Wilhite with it. He protects it, lays it back behind as Williams watches there. Edina now to the right hash marks, up for Keegan Langfells, or Eden Prairie rather. Keegan Langfells now Batchelder plays that down low, give and go in front. Oh, John Middlestat wanted to pull the trigger, got off balance, couldn't finish. Up to the line, that gets away from Keegan Langfells. John Middlestat regroups over to the right side across the line. It's Luke Middlestat with 49 to go in the power play. Luke Middlestat inside out on Vorlicki. Nifty little play there by the Eagle defenseman. Up high to his brother John Middlestat from the left point, down low to the corner. In front, that's repelled by the Edina defense. Vorlicki, he's had a terrific game. In on Rosenlund it goes with 32 of man advantage time for the Eagles. Keegan Langfels behind his own net, looks back up ice as he has the 5-on-4 advantage. Now John Middlestat plays that one in deep. He's going to chase down his own puck as Vorlicki is going to have to make a play as Morton comes away and fishes that away from Cam Langfels, who has Nevers breathing down his throat. He's going to ring it far side, or near side rather, for Argetsinger, who makes a nifty play off the end boards. Outlets to Holt to the right wing side, 4 to go in the man advantage. Now it's going to be Rudrud back up through center, gets around Reiners, in on goal, short angle, nothing there as that hits the side of the net. The Hornets kill the penalty as it's going to be back on the ice for Jungles. Down he goes, and Holt's going to come away with it, rings the boards for Rudrud. Rudrud too far for Batchelder. The big carom into the Edina zone as Vorlicki will watch that one across the end line and icing the call, or Reiners rather.
Well, really a good power play by Eden Prairie. They didn't put the puck in the net, but they had plenty of opportunities. It was Loudon Hogue that was the best penalty killer for this Edina Hornet team, but Edina chasing the play a little bit. But Eden Prairie really is just doing the right things. They're very calm, very cool, but I'm very impressed with the way they've been bringing the puck up the ice with control. That one was an icing call, so a bit of a misplay, but overall they've been just very, very solid in the second period as we expected them to be. I was kind of curious. We talked about it, Pete, during the period. Is Eden Prairie, the second period's been their period in the games that they've played lately, but that trend has not changed. Edina looks a little bit better, but they have to stay out of the box, Pete. They're giving Eden Prairie too many opportunities on the power play.
Well, they changed up a little bit of their looks of how they're going to play, and then now the Eagles have adjusted to that, and then back the other way we go. And you just got to stay out of the box. It's so important in these games.
Absolutely, the games within the games, but it just shows the coaching acumen of how good these coaches are.
High school hockey continues. We'll hear from the high school league back in 10 seconds.
This is Twins broadcaster Dick Bramer and a 1974 graduate of Staples High School. You're listening to the Minnesota State High School League State Tournament. We are the league. This is Twins.
High school hockey coverage presented in part by Optimal Goalie, RJM Construction. Check them out at rjmconstruction.com. Tradition Companies, traditionco.com, a big supporter of everything hockey in the Twin Cities. Another big supporter of that is Brew Pub Pizza and Lots of Matza Pizza. Get them at your local grocers. And the Sportsman's Guide, great store. You can get it all your sportsman, outdoorsman needs right there at Sportsman's Guide in South St. Paul, Minnesota. 4:14 to go in the period as the Eagles in their defensive zone get flushed out. The Hornets through the crease area. Ooh, nice shot opportunity there by Nevers, but Holt's going to carry this one back the other way. Plays that one in. Interference penalty coming up on Boltman as down goes Holt.
Well, it was Holt that just dumped the puck in, but the continuation of the play, Boltman stayed with him and then pushed him down to the ice right in front of the referee. Kind of an irresponsible penalty from a very responsible player. But now Edina back behind that 8 ball. They're getting a little bit too familiar with this situation in their penalty kills. At least they have the resources of Jet Jungles back, who served that last penalty. But, boy, he just took the skates out from under him and deposited him down on the ice.
You kind of can't not call that one.
You have to call it. If it's an infraction, it has to be called.
Hornets have been killing the penalties off here. They've been effective with it. Let's see if they can do it again. Keegan Langfels to John Middlestat. Right side, Luke Middlestat hops his stick. Holds on to it. Looks up high, didn't like it. Now gets it away from Jungles. Cam Langfels shots. Glove save made by Hogue again.
Well, great job of blocking out by Williams and Vorlicki on that. It was Jensen waiting in the wings with Wilhite, but they gave their goaltender an opportunity to see that Langfeld shot, and he received that, held onto it, face off to his left. 1:45 left in the penalty to Boltman for Edina.
I like to see that Cam Langfels or Keegan Langfels is shooting it a lot more. It seemed during the regular season when we were doing all those games at the community center, he'd hang on to it a little bit.
Or he'd pass it when he had an
now he's
opportunity.
taking shots. He's got a nice cannon.
Yeah,
he's got to stay with that thing.
Yes, he does.
Jensen now off the end line. There's Langfels, a quick shot, glove save. The leather flared by Loudon Hogue.
Well, now Langfels is just being dang selfish. No, it was a really good shot. Tried to go short side glove, but Loudon Hogue, I think with these saves, he's getting confidence as he goes. I mean, he's a confidence goaltender, and that was a really good shot from the right post, and it was going to tick it for under the bar. So, again, Loudon Hogue picks up his teammates when the wheels are wobbling.
Jensen and Chorsky. Face-off win, Jensen. Keegan Langfels down the wall. Luke Middlestat with it. Back up for Keegan Langfels. Now John Middlestat with it. Langfels, the big shot, misses the mark. Now it's going to be Luke Middlestat. He'll walk from the right side. Looks down low with it. It's going to leave it off into the corner. He's upended.
Wow.
That one got That one was missed. Now it's going to be handled by Jensen, and that draws a penalty. So Vorlicki pulls his man down, and then before you know it, a little frustration ensues, and they're always going to see the second one, and Luke Middlestad's going to go.
No, it was a good check. He's just a very strong individual. You can't penalize somebody for being strong, but he did deposit him down along the end wall. But then Eden Prairie.
That would have been an interference there.
It could have been an interference, but again, Edina being a man down, I suppose they're probably using a little bit of an interpretation on that one. But
yeah,
a penalty's a penalty.
Yeah, they got away with that one, and then they come back the other way. And
insult to injury right there.
Yep. So 4-on-4 for 109. Pager, watched by Jungles. Look at the confidence by the defenseman. Takes it from behind the net right up the middle with Jungles hounding him. Batchelder will play this one in as Hogue steers that one to the right corner. Now Jungles again comes away with it as he speeds up the right wing side, strong on his skates. Jet Jungles, Mr. Hockey finalist, too far for Malmquist. Now it's going to be Schultz with it as he gathers it in. Malmquist watching him. Clayton Schultz now from the left wing side. The defenseman carries it ahead. Now it's going to be Batchelder. He can shoot it. That's blocked. Now it's going to be the Hornets. Jungles wanted to run it back into the neutral zone. Couldn't, as Schultz was going to ring it hard around. Couldn't be cut off there by Hogue. Back in behind the net. Batchelder almost wrapped up his man. Lost his stick in the effort, but he still plays the body. And now Jensen to the corner, comes away with it. He pulls a puck. Oh, my word, behind the back pass. There's a shot that's blocked. Boy, he could have shot that a little bit sooner. When Jack Jensen tries to get to the perfect shooting angle, he's just got to trust himself and shoot it, rip it. I mean, I know he scored a ton of goals,
Said
but
that for 3 weeks.
He's been doing that a lot where he's trying to get right to perfect. Now Schultz, terrific player, don't get us wrong. Back up through the neutral zone it goes. That gets through Williams. There's a stick right off behind the back of the Edina net. Now Vorlicki's been monster. Plays this puck to the top of the blue line in his own zone, left side across the line in Eden Prairie territory. Plays this to center. Schultz gathers it in, bumps that off the boards. They're shorthanded now and sends that one down the length of the ice. Delaney is there. He's going to have to work around that stick, and did. With 18 to go in the man advantage, 1:23 to go in the period. Eden Prairie still leads 1-0. Back in behind the net. Drew Holt's goal, scored way back in the first period at 5:35 has been the difference. Boltman with it. His shot misses the mark. Karam to Nevers over to the far side now. Even strength are the Eagles. They're 5-on-5. Ooh, they're going to see Luke Middlestad started going to the bench. Now he quickly got back in. Nevers, who gets pickpocketed by Middlestad. Smart move by the defenseman there. Here he comes back up the right wing side. Middlestad's shot misses the mark. The big Karam to Smith in the left wing side. Tries to play it to the corner. He's cut off. Nevers ahead he goes to the neutral zone. Jones is going to take it and swat it right back into Edina territory. The Hornets now. Jones is going to play it with his hand to the corner. Once he touches it, it's good. Now it's going to be Jones, plays that one through, and that's in on goal in the crease area, covered up by Loudon Hogue.
Well, Vorlicki having a conversation with the referee. I think Carson Jones' speed kind of took him a little by surprise. He took the puck, put it back out front, but I think that was Batchelder's stick that was on that ice for quite a period of time, and there was also a broken stick over along the sidewall as well, but face-off not
the yard sale.
It is on, but 34.5 left in the second period. Eden Prairie with an offensive zone face-off. It's Jensen against Nevers, or Morton.
Morton's been good in the circle. Let's see what happens here. Jensen has been absolutely savaging too. Jensen the draw to Batchelder. Fan on it. The Eagles will be forced to touch up. 27 to go. Edina back to center. Rugemer stopped on the play by Keegan Langfells. Couple of big frames going at it there. Langfells again, the body on Rugemer. Back in behind, Luke Middlestad plays this up to the left wing side. Jensen plays to center. Ooh, he nearly was off to the races on Boltman as the Edina plays it back in the Eden Prairie zone. Left wing, Batchelder springs Holt. He's going to send that one in. That one goes up off the netting. 2.3 seconds to go. They're going to face off at center ice.
Well, it's very lucky that Drew Holt is a good enough player to control the puck with his head up, because it was Colby that was coming in to blow him up, and he just sidestepped him. Otherwise, that would have been a mid-ice collision that would have notified DOT for a cleanup, I suppose. But,
wow. Headlights, all of it.
Just 2.3 left. Center ice face-off.
And there's the ceremonial puck drop, I guess we'd say, Bart Archer.
Yeah.
That does it for the period. Shots on goal, Eden Prairie 26, Edina 7. Scoreboard, though, just 1-0 Eagles. We had a great second period here. Edina with some pushback, but the Eagles defending very well.
Oh, indeed. In fact, I think this is probably the best sequence of 2 back-to-back periods that I think I've seen this play against a very worthy opponent as well. But 26 shots on goal. Edina's averaging, giving up about 22 to 24 shots against, and Eden Prairie still has 17 minutes to go. But Edina's got to make some changes going into the locker room. The pucks are rolling on them. They're squeezing their sticks a little bit. If it wasn't for Loudon Hogue, we'd be talking a little bit bigger deficit than 1-0. So he's really given his team a chance to compete, but Eden Prairie's firing on all cylinders. They just need 17 more minutes of this type of play. Keep Edina off the board, and they're in good shape.
We'll be checking in with you in about 15 minutes. High school hockey continues right here at the MNHockey.tv. Thanks for joining us here tonight. We're on a subject matter now between periods here. State high school hockey tournament action continues, section and state tournament playoffs, and we're going to talk some goaltending. Near and dear to my heart with Larry Grace Jr. from Optimal Goaltending, and he is, I think in my mind, folks, got it all figured out. So as you're driving to the XL Energy Center and listening to us, or if you're at home listening, or you know a goaltender in your family, friends, or it could be your son, daughter, or you're a board member or a coach, this is going to be a discussion, I think, that's going to be very interesting and have a lot of impact on the position, which is a little bit, it's always been a little bit of a mystery. Wouldn't you agree? Welcome aboard, Larry. Good to see you.
Hey, thanks, Pete. Yeah, it's a huge mystery for everyone.
It is a huge mystery from the perspective of what is it? How does it work? You and I kind of come from the same background where we had the great late Warren Strelo, who was very technical, and he had changed the position and how it was played. And obviously it's hybrided into this and that and the next thing. But there's a component that I think is the same. And you brought up a story about how when you were in high school, you didn't think about what you're eating, and now you are. So what you've got is more of an off-ice setup for what you do, as opposed to just, robotronic type of goaltending coaching. Can you talk a little bit about what you do and how you got to it?
Yeah, so what I do is I focus on everything off the ice. It can be anything from performance training, which most people would know as strength and conditioning, the mental part of the game, and just daily preparation. It could be for families who are on a limited budget and said, we want to give our child every opportunity to be a better goalie. How do we do this with this amount of money? So I deal with a wide range of things off the ice, and the whole goal of the program is to give every goalie an opportunity to be the best goalie that they can be, not be the best goalie. And so it's important for me to take everything as an individual and not just as the position of goalie.
So you talked about making them stronger, helping them become stronger, maybe not necessarily in every capacity. There's certain areas that you will focus on. So can you talk about, I think you said there's 3 components for what you do.
Yep. So it can be different for everyone. It could be the same for 2 goalies. If we're talking about maybe a high school goalie, they're looking more at the performance side of things combined with learning how to be a goalie. And what I mean by that is take away the game itself, but everything you do leading up to the game and how that's going to prepare you to perform. When we're talking about a younger goalie, maybe a squirt peewee goalie, we're working on building an athlete here. We're not worried about can they do the reverse VH, can they do a butterfly, how well do they push. I want to create a great athlete. I feel if I create a great athlete, the goaltending coach can then build a great goalie.
Let's go into the athlete part of it as you hone in on a great athlete. I don't want to give away your secret sauce,
Yep.
But what are some of the things, areas of the body that you focus on to create that great athlete?
It's a great question, and I look at it differently. I feel that creating a great athlete is using games at the youngest levels, not anything specific for goaltending or even the sport of hockey itself. Taking a young boy, young girl, and forcing them to be an athlete. And what I mean by that is I'll give you a simple example of what I do with some of my younger kids. And we play a game that I call goalie volleyball. And what I've done is I've taken a court, shrunk it down with cones, and we have a center line. We don't have a net or anything like that, and we use a kid's bouncy ball. And the whole object of the game is for the team of 2 to kick the ball back and forth over the line using any body part. So they can use legs, feet, hands, head. And what I'm trying to do is force them not to think like a volleyball player, not to think like a soccer player, but think like an athlete and react to what is happening to the ball itself and working with your teammate.
What type of growth have you seen in young athletes? Because it's sometimes, and I've been in coaching environments where, God-given fast twitch muscles. There's things that work for people and others that don't. And some you just say, well, I don't know if we're going to get too much out of this one here, but we'll do the best we can. God bless him, great kid. But how much can you maximize out of athletes or goaltenders from various levels of tools that they give you?
The tools that they give me, I can take and maximize them by 100. If they're committed to it and they have a passion for it, they're going to get a ton out of this. Just like anything else in life, if you put some into it, you're going to get something out of it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that every goalie that works with me is going to make it to the NHL, but I guarantee that any goalie that works with me will be a better goalie tomorrow than they were today. And that's all done by thinking of everyone as an individual and not a goalie.
What do you think goaltenders today's biggest need from an athleticism perspective is? Is it in their feet? Is it in their hips, hands? What is it?
That's a very interesting question. And I did recently just speak with a college goalie coach who had a really unique perspective on this, where he brought up, if we look at European goalies, they have great feet because they play soccer all the time over there. And if you look at American goalies or North American goalies, they've got great hands for the most part. And so when he talked about that, it really resonated with me that that's what I'm trying to do. I want complete athletes who use their hands, use their feet, use their brains, use their eyes. They're not robotic. The one thing I've heard from several goalie coaches from the NHL down to the youth level and everywhere in between is that goaltending has become too robotic. And they have a hard time with some goalies because they are so robotic, like a computer program, that they can't get out of it. And that's really the sole purpose of what I do, is developing an athlete who can then be a goalie that doesn't rely strictly on robotic movements.
Well, there's no such thing as a formula on a 3-on-2 that's changing and evolving in speed and tempo and pace and where they're going to go with it. I've watched goalies in practices, they square up and the thing's in and they're on their knees and they're looking around, they're looking at their shoulders, they're looking at their hands, and they're going, well, I did everything perfect. How did it go in? And but that's not what we're talking about here. And so it enhances the tools that the other goalie coaches are giving the players. And you talked a lot about diet too. Is that an area that you focus on?
Yeah, it's something that I speak to. It's one area that I want the goalie themselves to have the want. I can tell them everything and give them every trick in the book. I can refer them to professional dietitians who will break it down to the simplest and smallest little thing. But what I like to do is give them a platform that they can work off of and learn what they haven't been doing correctly and what they have been doing correctly, and how do we make these small changes. Because usually for kids these days, with all the information we have out there from the internet, they're on the right track. They just kind of need one piece here and one piece there. And the parents themselves are also asking questions for their own personal diet themselves. So when it becomes a family thing, it's great for everyone involved.
It's tough when it's an individualistic approach when it comes. It's got to be, everybody's got to be all in.
Yep.
I totally agree with you. So then in terms, you have a formula there. In terms of thinking like a goaltender, that really intrigued me when you brought that up in the beginning of our discussion here. I think today about how much better I would be in this day and age, having worked with these guys. You tell them everything to do what you didn't do. I mean, but it's how do you think like a goaltender, both on game day and on non-game day?
Yeah, so with the younger kids, you can kind of start that piece, but they're not ready to, take a full day and really prepare for a game. That piece really starts at the Bantam level, that 8th, 9th grade age range, where the games are competitive. Mistakes are that much smaller to make. And so it's really starting with, it's difficult for someone in school, maybe they're 7 to 3, 9 to 2, whatever it may be, to eat properly, or maybe just stay focused on what's important. And for some goalies that I've worked with, it's been as simple as, let's not think about hockey all day. Let's focus on school. And let's worry about hockey when hockey gets there once school is done. And for other goalies, it's, we need to start focusing the minute we wake up. And so that's where that individual approach comes into play. No two goalies are the same. You have a Martin Berder who has been known to talk to the media for, 50, 60 minutes after, practice, morning skate. And then you have Ed Belfour who wouldn't talk to anybody.
Yep.
And so you really have to learn and meet them as individuals. And I think that's the big piece. And, we had talked about Warren Strelo before, and I recently was talking to a scout who had talked to Warren Strelo back in the day shortly before he passed. And he asked him, you had 3 great goalies in San Jose who all went on to be #1 goalies in the NHL. He said, how did you handle that? And Warren said, I got to know them as individuals, and I was their mentor, before I was their goalie coach. And they would come and visit me in the summer, and we'd spend a week or two together. And it wasn't so much about hockey as it was me learning about them and them learning about me. And when we created that bond, they all started to take off. And so, when I heard that, I thought that's exactly what I'm trying to do here is be that mentor, be the coach, and give them the backbone to succeed. Because I think, and you probably would agree with this too, that back in our day, we did not get a whole lot of support as goalies. There was no one out there that we could talk to.
He and Jack McCartan, for me, were it.
Yep. And so I'm trying to bring that piece in. I mean, you can go and get great performance coaching from a lot of different facilities and a lot of different coaches in this state. But the difference with them and me is I was a goalie. I am a goalie. I know what it feels like, and I want to help every goalie overcome those battles because we do face a lot of them.
So your business model doesn't know any age either, correct? You go from squirts up all the way up.
That is correct. Squirts to the pros.
And so from your to reach out to you, they can email you, correct?
Yeah, you can email me at optimalgoalie@gmail.com, or you can give me a call at 952-270-5490. And with today's technology, feel free to text me too.
Please text. That's it. And then you also, to work with youth programs is a great idea. Even if they have an existing goaltending guru or whatever, and a lot of these programs do, they can't do everything that you're suggesting here, and it's good for them to bring you in to work with them.
Yeah, so the difference between me and a goalie coach is a goalie coach focuses on the play on the ice, what to do in certain situations, how to move in and out of the net, up and down, all those great things. What I do is everything off the ice. For an association, it could be as simple as bringing me in to work with the parents to figure out how do the parents feel? Do the parents feel like they're missing something? Is there a gap between the board and the association, and what can we do to fill that gap? High school program, it could be the same thing from that, or even setting up a year-round development program for the goalies off the ice.
That's beautiful. So we will get you absolutely exposed here during the high school hockey tournament.
Thank you.
You're a great man, making a big difference in the hockey world. Again, shoot that email and number for us.
Yeah, the email is optimalgoalie@gmail.com, and then the phone number is 952-270-5490. And again, feel free to text me as well.
Larry Grace Jr., optimal goalie. Once again, let's be honest, you just made the position just a little bit better.
I hope so. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
We'll be back with more coming up right after this. We're on a subject. About 3 minutes to go for what should be an incredible third period. It's 1-0 Eden Prairie. How about a quick summary, Bart?
I'd be happy to provide it. Shouldn't take too terribly long. At the 5:35 mark in the first period on the power play was Drew Holt with his 13th. From Luke Middlestead, shots on goal that period, 13 for Eden Prairie, two-period total of 26. 2 for the Edina Hornets, two-period total of 7. Pete, after the first period, Edina had a face-off advantage of 11-9. Now Eden Prairie's taking that away, and it's 25-14 advantage Eden Prairie. So they're winning the possession, they're winning the battles, they're winning the walls, they're doing all the things right. If it wasn't for sophomore goaltender Loudon Hogue, this might be a different score, but he's done his job and kept his team one good shot away. But Edina's got to get on their horse, and I would venture to say Kurt Giles got to take a stick to the Hornets' nest and get them angry and get them moving. But the Eden Prairie's just suffocating them and really not allowing any time and space. And when they do, Edina shoots themselves in the foot by running to the penalty box. So a lot of room for improvement on the Edina Hornets side. Eagles just have to finish this thing out. 17 minutes of Eagle hockey. Their best hockey of the year is what's the call to order right now.
Eagles are 1 for 4 with the man advantage. Meanwhile, Edina 0 for 3. Penalties are 3 for 6 for Eden Prairie, 4 for 8 for Edina, so pretty even there. And, shots on goal have been really the key thing. First period was 12-5, second period 13-2 in favor of Eden Prairie. If you'd have told me the Hornets would have just 7 shots after 2 frames, I'd say you're kidding me.
Well, Peter,
against anybody.
Absolutely, and this is a team that averages about 34 shots on goal. They have gotten into the 40s and only really given up 22 to 24 shots, and Eden Prairie's already passed that, and we have 17 minutes to play, and Edina's not even close to that 33. But, keep in mind, Edina faithful that this Edina Hornet team can turn the tides in a hurry, but they have to get to work right away. But this Eden Prairie team has came to play. And one thing I worry about Eden Prairie is don't just play in the moment. Don't look ahead. Don't get too far ahead. Don't start dreaming about medals and trophies and stuff. Just play each shift at a time, win the battles like you've been doing, just maintain. But Edina's got to challenge Axel Rosenland in goal. They haven't done that very much so far. But Loudon Hoag's really been the story of this game for the Kelly Green and Gold.
Oh.
What?
Matt Harrington just forwarded me a tweet. This guy writes, fact, Chaska defeated 3 of the 4 teams playing the state championships. The Hawks beat Greenway, Eden Prairie, and Edina. And in the regular season, never got a chance to see St. Cloud Cathedral. And then Matt sends back to me, should have beaten them when it mattered.
Right. Right. Well,
it's kind of true.
Well, a lot of respect for Coach Snuggerud and the program that he's building. They were wonderful. They had a great season this year. Kind of put them on the relevant landscape in Minnesota high school hockey. But no, these are 2 very deserving teams. That's talk around the water cooler. It might spur some conversations, but I don't think we deserve to give that any more time.
I thought that was hilarious.
It is pretty funny.
I laughed out loud. I blurted. And it really leads me into this point. Edina's 3-0 against Eden Prairie, looking to go 4-0. And, the other 3 don't really matter if you can't get the 4th.
No, absolutely. I mean, 18-5 goal disparity in those 3 games, but now it's 1-0 where it counts in the championship game on Saturday night. It's going to be an intense 17 minutes, I'll promise you that.
17 minutes for a lot of seniors out on these hockey teams. Someone's going home completely disappointed. For those that decided to stay home for a great high school hockey game, bummer, because this thing has been really good.
Well, hopefully you have it up and have us on, and we appreciate it. I'd like to say hello to Dan Langfels down in Tampa, Doug Dornsipe in Colorado Springs, Bob Gibbons out in Marietta.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Harry Carey pays a visit. Off the boards it goes, sent in wide of the mark. The Hornets and the Eagles 5-on-5 to start the period. Down the wall it goes. It's cut off by Eden Prairie. Jensen outlets to the right wing side. It's going to be Wilhite. Here's Holt, leans into it. Oh, and Jensen had a wide open net and pushed it wide. Back up the ice, it's going to be Jungles. Plays that one rink wide. Nevers, and offside at the line.
Well, I thought the Eden Prairie one was offside, but boy, Jack Jensen just waiting around the doorstep, just pushed it about a 1/4 of an inch wide, shaking his head. Him and Loudon Hoag probably had a minor conversation, but then Edina comes back with numbers, and it was Malmquist that just snuck into the zone early, so face off outside the zone. Boy, he's going to be seeing that in his sleep.
Oh,
a 1/4 of an inch.
They've had a post. They've had a shaft of the stick, and then that was even closer than the others, even though it didn't hit the net. Goodness. Now it's going to be Delaney off the side of the cage. Try to force that through. Gets it back. Now Holt has it. Was just going to throw it. Instead lost the handle. Chorski the shot. Pad saved by Rosenland. Now a big slapper that hits traffic on the way in by Vorlicki. And it's going to be Holt back up through center ice. Here's Holt to the right wing. Sends one high off the glass. The big carom to center. And it's going to be the Eagles to play this one in. All the way to the far corner, right side, back in behind. Now on the stick of Williams. He'll play this ahead. Checked on the play was Colby, and back goes Argetsinger in his own end for the Eden Prairie Eagles. Lost the handle, but gathers it back in. Ahead he goes to Holt. He's been out for a while on this shift. Williams lost the handle. Hoag will glove that one down, and here comes Rudrud. Nice job to decide to hang on to that one.
Well, you always want to err on the side of caution. If you dropped it, it would have stressed Vorlicki out with a big gentleman like Rudrud closing in. So faceoff's going to be to his right, 15:37 left in this in regulation time. Faceoff to Hoag's left. Nevers against Jensen in the dot.
Boltman with the ring. Malmquist to center. Hello to Dan Sheldon. He, of course, from Tradition Companies. Watching on here tonight. He's got him turned down and us up. Here's a shot by Reiners. That's blocked by Smith. Again, I keep talking about the sticks. And you got to commit to that.
Well, and they haven't. They've had great success as far as Eden Prairie. It just seems like when Edina tries to load up and get a shot on goal, there's a stick in front of it, ramping it up and out of play. So Eden Prairie maintaining their responsibility on the defensive side in their own zone.
Chorski and Jensen, these two have been squaring off a bit in the circle too. Jensen, Jack Jensen, have you looked at his face-off numbers, Bart?
I don't think he's lost one for a while, but Jack Jensen, 19-6.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Number.
I mean, 19-6 is a massive number. Well, we can say 20-6. We know of at least. Nice save by Rosenlund. Now it's going to be Wilhite. Hornets now with 9 shots on goal. Jensen sends that one off the pad of the goaltender. Loudon Hogue. 2 Eagles converge. They both go down. Chorsky off the boards. Ahead he goes to Delaney. Delaney plays that one ahead. That hits Colby. Jensen nearly poked that away from Delaney, who sends that one in wide of Rosenlund and icing the call. The Eden Prairie goaltender looked like he was going to handle it, but instead let it go.
Well, and I think that the Edina player that sent it down thought he had gained the red, but he did not. So face-off, as you said, is going to come down into the Edina zone to Loudon Hogue's left. But you're right. When Jack Jensen doesn't get thrown out of the face-off dots like he did yesterday, he can be quite effective.
Schultz, that's blocked. Now it's going to be handled by Vorlicki off the boards. Too far for Jungles. And it's going to be sent back in behind the net. Pager is there. Mishandles. Now it's going to be Malmquist up for Vorlicki. Vorlicki tries to open up to a shooting angle. That's deflected up. Nope, doesn't. Goes straight off his stick all the way. Nope, they're going to say it went off an Eden Prairie player, keeping it inside.
Well, that would have been bad shelter, and the forwards are coming out to challenge the Edina defense. They know that they like to send it back to Vorlicki or Williams or Boltman or such. But bad shelter did a nice job of closing that gap and ramping that one up and out of play. Face-off now to Rosenlund's left. 14:22 left in this third period. Edina has achieved double figures in shots. Little victory speed.
Glove down in the neutral zone and played by an Edina hand. They closed it on it, so we're going to face off to the right of the Edina goalie, Loudon Hogue.
Wow, just a minute and 43 into or 2 minutes and 43. We've already had probably 4 or 5 whistles already. This one down in the Edina zone.
Jensen, another clean draw. Savaging in the circle. Luke Middlestad keeps. Redirect by Jensen off the pads. Nice save by Hogue again. Back at center, that's knocked away by Langfels. Now it's going to be Jungles. He turns away and sends that in off the post. Rebound over the top of the goal. Now Edina with some chances. Oh, they're getting some rhythm here in the third period. That one played up to the high point. Shot that's played into the midsection of the Eagle defense. Williams jammed, smoked on the play by Holt. Those two are locked up in front of the penalty box area as Williams wisely puts his legs around, that was Jensen.
Yeah.
Around Jensen. Boy, that was a big, big hit.
Yeah, Jensen got his money's worth on that one.
He did. Now it's played up to the right wing side. Rudrud, Smith was there. Now it's going to be Vorlicki back up through center ice. Cross the line, it goes for Delaney, who sends this behind. Now it's Luke Middlestad. Now Garrett Smith off the glass. Foot race for it. Boltman comes back in his own zone. The Eagles will send one man and lock on the wings. Now Boltman back up ice. There's 4 Eagles in the neutral zone. Boltman plays this one back into the far corner. Now it's going to be Pager with it. He better hurry as here comes Delaney. Oop to the slot area, but the Eagles will cover up. Back out of the zone. Nice back check commitment there by Colby. He's flying. I'd like to see more of him.
Absolutely.
Back in behind now. It's going to be the Eagles in possession. Jones with it. Oh, his pass picked off by Jungles. He walks, shoots. Oh, a stick gets on his stick. Couldn't get it clean. Now it's going to be Smith who just clears this one the length of the ice and an icing call. Hornets are coming.
Wow, but Eden Prairie's defending quite well, getting sticks on pucks, but a couple good sequences by the Edina Hornets down low. One caromed off the pipe, but when you have puck luck going with you, it works quite well. And they're showing the replay of Jensen and Williams getting tied up again. But yeah, Edina's starting to get a little bit of offensive mojo, but Eden Prairie doing a good job of not losing their composure. They're not chasing the play, and they're maintaining their positioning as they should be. So Eden Prairie's doing all the right things, but Edina's starting to ramp it up.
High school hockey continues right here at the MNHockey.tv.
This is Lisa Lissamore, Associate Director for the Minnesota State High School League and a 1978 graduate of St. Paul Central High School. You are listening to the Minnesota State High School League State Tournament.
Our coverage continues, and thanks for joining us here tonight and throughout the entire season. It's been an incredible run here of high school hockey, the MNHockey.tv, and our coverage is presented in part by Tradition Companies. You can find them at traditionco.com. 7 different opportunities for you to do business with them, whether you're buying a home, building a home. You've got mortgage, capital bank, wealth management. Also, Bart loves the golf part of it, the golf. It's Optimal Goalie with Larry Grace Jr. on and off the ice. Helps with the diet, the athletic training. Make sure to get a hold of him. RJM Construction, you can find them at rjmconstruction.com, whether it's arena remodeling or a brand new facility. They get it all done for you. Also, Brew Pub and lots of matzo pizza. As good as it gets at your local grocer. Half pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. And also by Sportsman's Guide, located in lovely South St. Paul, Minnesota, a 400,000 square foot warehouse. You can get all your outdoorsman needs. 12:32 to go in the third, 1-0 in favor of Eden Prairie.
Well, and Edina shot total up to 12 now, and they just turned it down to 11, but they've been pretty good quality shots, so Edina's starting to feel it, but Eden Prairie doing a good job, as we said, of defending.
Reiner's at the line. Now it's going to be Jensen with speed to the right wing side for Wilhite. Jensen to the net, blocker pad. They wanted to get the rebound, but they missed the mark. Sent back in behind the net. Oh, out front it goes. That got away from Hogue to the right wing side. Now it's played up to the middle for Nevers across the line. Leaves off for Jungles, loads it up, misses the mark. Off the boards it goes. Nevers cycles behind for Jungles, gets there. Oh, there's a stick by Luke Middlestat. Now John Middlestat, right wing on the tape. Nifty pass to the right wing for Wilhite across Edina line. Now it's Jensen in front. Wilhite just a little too far for him. Wilhite plays to the corner for Jensen. Edina now tries to play up to the right wing side. Malmquist has some room. Game opening up a bit here in the third period. Edina liking to that. Down goes Malmquist, but it's picked off by Delaney. Good mitts there. Scores! Kevin Delaney, the interception of the slot. The Edina bench going nuts as it's tied at 1.
Well, Edina needed something positive to happen. They've been working awful hard, and finally they beat Axel Rosalind, who's played well when called upon. Just 11 shots on goal, but the 12th one was the one that took that cipher off the scoreboard. 11:39. We're not at a 1 championship Saturday, but Edina's got some mojo. Up to Eden Prairie to respond. They've been solid so far. I don't look for anything to change, but Edina's going to, now that they have a little positive energy, they're going to start buzzing. So Eden Prairie better hunker down and just keep playing Eden Prairie hockey. They've been very successful so far with their mode of operation. That just has to continue. But boy, I'm sure Jack Jensen wants that one back.
Well, right before that goal scored, I had mentioned that the game's opened up. It's getting a little quicker, and I think the Eagles would like to see that slow down a little bit more.
Well, again, they take the body, slow them down, but Edina, as you said, starting to get rhythm. The passes are getting on the tape now, and they're moving up with speed.
Sent back in behind the net, offside at the line is Edina. They'll face off in the neutral zone. So Delaney gets that one unassisted.
Well, and he reaches the 20-goal plateau, so not a bigger goal as he scored in his high school career. But number 20, another level for an Edina Hornet. They're looking to build on that right now.
Kid has got some serious hands and hockey knack. Kevin Delaney now off the boards. Williams, his shot is knocked away by Argetsinger. Cam Langfels is muscled. Chorsky now in front. Colby scores! Oh. Here come the Hornets. They take the 2-1 lead.
But I think it was Chorsky that actually made that happen. Nice work down low. Really put Eden Prairie defensemen under some stress. They put it into the corner, but Edina gained possession of that puck, and it was Chorsky that wheeled and fired. But it was Colby that beat him along the ice. A nice low shot by the Edina forward. Boy, it's nice to see Colby get a goal. He worked so hard for this team, and he got put in a position to make a play, and that's exactly what he did. But that's a big goal for Colby, number 8. But now Edina 2-1. It's up to Eden Prairie to respond. Looking at the body language, they look focused. They don't look any worse for the wear, but you can kind of feel that Edina's starting to get that momentum building. Now it's up to Eden Prairie to quell that momentum and get back to playing 50-50 hockey at least.
Well, the Hornets have found their groove here in the third period, and it's about speed and it's about moving away from the puck, and now they're starting to those are 2 goals within 30 seconds, Bart?
Yeah, now the onus is on Eden Prairie to make something happen.
Now Jensen to the corner in the offensive zone. He's wedged off by Reiners. Nevers looks up ice, but he's pickpocketed there by John Middlestat. That's off Wilhite in the neutral zone. He comes away with it and tucks it back in behind the Edina net. Now it's going to be Reiners with it. The Eagles had led 1-0 through the entire second period, latter stages of the first, and early on here in the third. Edina with 2 quick goals, one by Delaney, one by Colby, and it's now 2-1 in favor of the Hornets. Eden Prairie now in transition across the line as they will guide it over to the right corner and play this one back in behind. Rung around the boards by Boltman, cut off by Pager. Jensen handled momentarily. That gets under him. Colby has some ice, but Garrett Smith gets a stick on him. Colby's going to change, and off the ice he goes. Back in behind now, it's going to be Pager. Right wing side for Jones. Looks through center, and it's going to be Smith at the end of his shift. He looks exhausted as they'll play this one up. And it's sent right back into the corner. Jones now looks back up to the circle area, picked off by Delaney. He wants to open it up. Carries it through center. Argetsinger forces him to dump it in as Delaney does. Now it's going to be Luke Middlestad with it. He'll carry this up the right wing side across center. Gains Edina territory. Down low he goes. Shallow angle nearly trickled in. There's a shot in front. That one gets through the crease area. Now it's going to be Boltman to play it hard around the wall. Pinched from the left side by Luke Middlestad. Nothing there. Now it's sent back into Edina territory. 9:35 to go. 2-1 in favor of Edina. Off the boards, cut off by the Eagles as they look in across the line. Now it's going to be from center. Here's Holt. He has a man on the left wing side. Likes the shot. And it's going to be sent back up to the line and controlled in the neutral zone by the Eagles. Kicked off the skate of Jungles into Edina territory as Boltman takes over behind his own net. Boltman outlets up high for Liam Malmquist. Hits the linesman yet again in front of the bench area. That's happened a couple of times here as the Hornets send in and change on the fly. Back up ice they go. The Eagles with it to the right wing side, deflected into Edina territory. Reiner's off the glass, glove down by Holt, comes away with it, tried to play this to the slot area at the line. Argetsinger's shot is blocked. Now it's going to be taken up the left wing side out of the zone by Vorlicki. Leads to the right wing for Colby, bumps the boards behind the net. It's going to be Argetsinger to play this one as he rings the boards back again up high to the right side. That shot through the crease area to the right wing side, gathered in by Delaney. He looks to the slot area. They'll guide it ahead for Holt as he'll walk across the checkered. Watched by Williams, although Holt gets it to the corner. He's alone, nobody in front. That's off Hoag's stick, and it's going to be Chorsky to play this one out of the zone. Backpedaling into his own zone to chase the rattling puck is going to be John Middlestad. He gets it under control, looks to the right wing side. That's off a skate of an Edina player. That was off Nevers by Argetsinger. In front of the bench area it goes. Now it's going to be Jungles, plays it left side, top of their circle. Williams for Edina, ahead he goes. Nevers looks to make a move across the line, but he runs into three Eagle players. Wilhite gets it, better hurry. Plays it ahead, that's off the toe of the stick of John Middlestad. Now it's going to be Schultz back in behind his own net. Schultz with it, looks to the left, instead gives it, looks up for Rudrud, misfired there as it's going to be repelled right back into the zone by Edina. Now it's going to be the Eagles again. Argetsinger from the right side, 7:37 to go in the period. Hoag the stick save over to the right side. John Middlestad finds Rudrud, plays this one down. Off his stick, it goes to center. Now it's going to be handled by Pager. Leaves over for Wilhite across the line. Ooh, nice pass up high to John Middlestad. Left wing side in front. Puck's loose. Stop Hoag. Scores! Oh, my word. Was that Schultz down low, Bart?
Yeah, he just waits for the state tournament to get on the score sheet, but for Schultz, that's going to be his second goal of the tournament, second goal of the year. I think that young man's excited. Yes, he is, but now it's not at a 2:7-17 left in regulation time. Edina teammates going over to give to kind of console Loudon Hoag. Not that he necessarily needs it. His body language is favorable, but they just want to let him know they're still with him. But what a big goal that was for Eden Prairie when they needed it the most.
Great entry there, and they had numbers. The centering feed hit Boltman in the leg. Clayton Schultz crashing down right at the top of the crease.
And that's a defenseman down in the blue area, so Eden Prairie knew the situation, got very aggressive, and it paid off.
Bart Archer makes the call. Wait till the state tournament to get on the score sheet.
Right. He waits for the big moments. And no bigger moment than that one right now, but it's going to be kind of a little bit close to the vest, but now Eden Prairie's got some energy on their bench. Edina doesn't look phased, but it's a tie ball game. It's 0-0 technically, but 2-2 on the scoreboard. 7:15 to go in this third period.
Back to center now. It's Jones with it. Dumped in by Jensen to the corner. Vorlicki is there. Hard ring around at the line. Liam Malmquist. Now Jungles with it. He looks across the line, hangs on to it. His shot hits Luke Middlestad up into the midsection. Hornets get it back with Nevers. Left hash marks. Down low they go. Rosenlund slides over. Puck still loose. Couple whacks at it there by the Hornets, but the EP goaltender covers that one up.
Well, Keegan Langfeld's nice positioning on that one. It was Malmquist on the weak side, and I think it was Nevers that was trying to feed the puck to him. The puck got there, but because Langfeld was in the way, Malmquist could put a stick on it and allowed Axel Rosenlund to cover that puck, but kind of a trying moment for Eden Prairie, but they did survive. Wow, 6:50 to go in the third period. Shots on goal 30 for Eden Prairie, now 13 for Edina. Really good time for a TV timeout.
Where do we go from here? Goodness gracious. Well, there'll be another one after the next whistle because there was nonstop action.
Absolutely.
I'm looking down at our coverage crew. Matt Harrington handling the articles, John Sands the scoring, the two of them with the social media.
Pete's posse.
And they're just giddy right now. They can't. And I'm looking at the very controlled John Sherman to our right from the Sun Current newspapers.
Unflappable.
Just not even reacting. He's all good.
I've seen a couple of these before.
Been there, done that.
Yes, indeed.
This is a really good hockey game.
Oh, it's terrific. In fact, I was hoping for a game like this coming into it. All the public sentiment. Sometimes it kind of creeps into your thoughts and say, maybe it might be an Edina advantage. 4, 5, 6, 7-1, something like that.
What do we have? 7-2, 5-3, or 7-2, 5-2, and 6-1.
I actually have that. It's 6-1. 5-2 at the Community Center, 7-2 at Braemar Arena. Both of the lopsided ones were from at Braemar Arena, one during the holiday tournament. Keep in mind that 7-1 game, Jack Jensen was available for him in that game.
That's correct.
Yeah.
In the Holiday Classic.
Absolutely. And it
took a major at center ice.
It seemed to take a little bit of a weird dynamic coming into that last game.
It took the luster off of it, and now they've got Jensen and Rudrud going every other, and, there's a lot of talk. You heard people saying, well, that's going to be a lot of ice time 3 days in a row. These two aren't going to be able to do it. Spencer Rudrud and Jack Jensen don't look tired to me.
No, and I think that those tournaments like that mimic the state tournament.
Well, that's the idea of them.
For these types of scenarios.
Well, and for much of this game until the Delaney line lit it up, they've been moving guys around. There's a face-off win that's blocked by Jensen. Nevers gets the draw. Reiners plays back in behind. 6:44 to go in the period. Hornets control back door in front. Jungles was there. Puck's loose. Here come the Eagles out of the zone. Big chance by Edina, thwarted. Now it's going to be Jensen across the line. Drop pass for Batchelder. Good back pressure there by Malmquist. And that was a wild angle there that nearly hit someone on the way through, but there was Hogue to make the glove save.
Well, it was Drew Holt camped short side by the goal, but it was Jensen along the goal line. He just threw that on goal, trying to either get it to Holt or to bank it off the goaltender. But Loudon Hogue did a nice job of maintaining his position on that post, kept that puck out of the net. Face up to his right. Or to his left, 6:28 left in regulation time.
Rosenlund just robbed Jungles off the side of the net with a pad save there out of the butterfly. And then that opportunity came right back off of that. High slot, Reiners shot over the top of the goal, hits the end wall. They'll continue to fight for possession. Now it's going to be Jensen with it. He's going to carry from the left wing side. He's going to work it all the way to the right, gets away from one man. Goodness gracious, Jensen putting on a show. Back into the corner, works his way around Boltman. Plays it for Smith. Instead, it's going to be Chorsky out of the zone. Looks to Delaney to the left wing side, who finds an opening and sends it in. The Hornets will change on the fly. Their ones come back out here. 5:48 to go in the period. Now it's going to be Pager. We're tied at 2 if you've just joined us. It's been a thriller from Braemar Arena. Pager, left wing.
XL Energy Center.
What did I say, Braemar Arena?
Yes,
my God, it's just I've had enough. Now it's Rudrud in. That one misses the mark. Thanks for correcting me.
No worries.
Nobody even caught it.
It was my pleasure.
Nobody even caught it, buddy.
Well, I wanted to make sure they did.
Game 135. I've had enough. Across the line it goes now. It's going to be sent in off the glass. That by Schultz and off the netting.
Oh, and it evaded the netting, so a fan got a nice souvenir. Absolutely.
A very rare souvenir off the end boards. You never get those.
And all she did was have to pick it up, so nobody's clapping for her. I feel bad. 5:17 left in regulation time.
Remember when those things used to just fly over the glass?
Oh.
I mean, when you think about it now, how crazy were we?
Yeah, I call these not safety netting, but cell phone netting, so all the people down texting and all that fun
Even
stuff
if you were watching, though, I mean, remember that there'd be some just missiles that would come up in the stands.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't put those nets up far before.
Well, unfortunately, it took a loss of life for it to happen.
Well, and that's a kind of a dark cloud. But, yeah, but at least something positive came out of it, and other people won't have to suffer like that did. But 5:17 left in regulation time. Shots now 14 for Edina, 31 for Eden Prairie. I just think they have to play very honest and very intelligent. I think intelligence is going to win this hockey game. It's just taking care of the puck, making the right plays, erring on the side of caution, but just no turnovers, no penalties. I think the refs are going to let them play unless it's something very egregious or limits a scoring opportunity, but it's going to be an exciting ride to finish this one out. And I don't sense overtime. It wouldn't be beyond the realm, obviously, a possibility, but I think something's going to happen in this 5-17. But both goaltenders are going to have to play their best hockey from this point forward.
You think it's going to get solved right here?
I do. I just have a feeling. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but overtime wouldn't be a bad deal either for a championship game. As long as it doesn't go 4 or 5 overtimes, I'm pretty good with it.
I'm good with it as long as we want to get this thing going.
Yeah, I suppose. A lot of fun.
It's been a heavyweight main event.
And they've traded some blows. It was in the early rounds was Eden Prairie, but Edina coming off the ropes and throwing some punches themselves.
Reiners now takes over, plays this to Malmquist, cut off by Wilhite in front of the Edina bench. He's going to play that in behind Hogue. Now it's going to be off the boards. Boltman plays, handled by Keegan Langfels, as he's going to have it at the dot area there. And there's Boltman to play that off the boards. Luke Middlestat with it. Now Rudrud lost the handle, got it back. Fortunate bounce there. And the Eagles will play this one in. They're going to have to touch up. Boltman to the right wing side. Malmquist, this is a throwaway shift really for both of these lines as a exchange possession. Ooh, a nice little move to the outside by Langfels. That one on Colby. Top of the slot. John Middlestat's shot's blocked. Every time someone loads up to shoot, you can cut it with a knife in here.
Right.
Colby with speed down the right wing side. Looks to work inside. Not going to beat the defense there as here come the Eagles up ice. Off the stick now on Edina's possession again. Turning up from the left wing is Delaney. Sends that in off to the far right wing corner. Cam Langfels now is going to guide it up to the left wing for Batchelder. His pass too far for Wilhite. That's going to work its way into Edina territory as Williams is going to regroup. Plays this off the boards. Delaney swats at that and plays that into Edina territory. Icing the call with 3:51 to go here in the third.
Well, you got to play from the drop of the puck to the whistle, and they're not opposed to taking a whistle as long as they can have some success in the dots. But, tempting fate and having too many own zone faceoffs at this juncture of the game is not really what the doctor ordered, but challenges in front of Edina to win this faceoff.
Back behind the net. Reiners rings it hard. That gets away from the Eden Prairie defense. Pinching, that was Pager. Now it's Schultz who has the game-tying goal off the glass. Too far for Batchelder in front of the bench area. Reiners takes over, and it's going to hit Holt. He didn't like that one. Took it off the inside of the mitt. Now Holt with it at center ice. Right wing Jensen guides this one down the wall. Holt looks to the slot area. Jensen up high. Left point. Pager's got a heavy shot. Wrister, stick save, turned aside by Hogue. Now it's going to be Nevers to gather in from the right wing side. Lays it up to the waiting Liam Malmquist. Gains center, plays it in, and the Hornets bring the twos back out. Eagles will regroup back up ice with it. Now across the neutral zone, it's going to be Schultz. Decides to play that in as Hogue reaches and handles that with his glove. That would have been wide. Now Chorsky takes it. Delaney sends this one in off a stick. Luke Middlestat has it. Gathers it in behind the net. Plays it to the left wing side. Now they'll look to the right wing. That's Luke Middlestat with it. Or check that, Jones rather. And now Colby rings that one back into the Eden Prairie zone. 2:41 to go. Keegan Langfels for Smith. That's cut off. Now Jones comes away with it. He can fly. Takes it up the left wing side. Tries to work on Vorlicki. Back in behind the net. Jones, nice job to eat the check. Gets Smith in front. They look to go for it. Now Rudrud comes away with it. Had the point open. Instead cycles it back down low. That's off the stick of Smith. Jones has it. Waits for something to develop. Walks from the right corner. Jones cycles back into the right corner now. It's going to be Rudrud. Watched by Chorsky. Pinched down by Luke Middlestat. Puck rattles around up in the air. Ooh, not a high stick there. Is close from Luke Middlestat. Now the Hornets will pin up on the boards with Rudrud. 2:02 to go. Back to the left dot. Chorsky for Delaney. Now it's going to be Luke Middlestat with it as he looks up ice as he tries to find some room and send that one in. But no, it hits an Edina player. Keegan Langfels comes away with it. Outlets to Spencer Rudrud. He's toward the end of his shift. He's had a long cycling shift. He's going to try and get to the bench as quick as he can. Jungles plays ahead for Nevers. Nevers has ice. He's dangerous. Shoots. Blocker pad save. Turned aside by Rosenlund. A good one. Now it's going to be Wilhite to pinch. Now Boltman is there, back up into the neutral zone. Boltman off the boards, gives it right back to the Eagles as the Edina Hornets touch back up. 1:25 to go in the third period. Across the line, Reiners. Now Wilhite rolls up on him right into the midsection. and they're offside as he took it.
Well, if Wilhite could have got there just a half a step earlier, Eden Prairie would have had numbers down low, but had both teams just content to get it deep and make the other team come the full 200 feet. Just 1:21 left in regulation time. Going to be very exciting, but play has to be very responsible.
Now it's going to be Boltman, plays this one rink wide. Reiner's ahead. Look out, here comes Malquist on a breakaway, shoots. Oh, and what a save by Rosenlund. That is the save of the tournament right there. Here come the Eagles back the other way. Jensen with it. 1-on-3, poked off his stick. Nevers, 1:03 to go in the third period. Nevers across the line. Ooh, just onside as Jungles shoots. That one deflected up over the top of the goal. Everybody oohed and awed that potential offside there as we play on. Back in across the right wing side. Now it's going to be Argetsinger. Eden Prairie in control. Holt across the line. Here's Drew Holt. Nifty move to the slot area. Holt shoots. That one's deflected off his stick. That pass out front. Oh, puck in the slot area. Nobody there. Delaney. Now it's Jensen. Shot blocked. Boltman was there with the ankle. Kicked away there by the Edina defense. Now it's going to be played back in behind. That was Boltman in front. Now Holt is there. Jensen takes over. 24 to go. Back up to the line. Schultz wants the shot. He had a man wide open on the far side in Pager. Boltman kicks it to center. No, can't get it deep. As the Hornets, take it over in the neutral zone with Delaney. He's dangerous. Takes this one in deep, working on Pager. Delaney with 7 seconds to go. Kept wide. Takes it up to the left wing side. Now to the point. They push it through. Save. Rebound. Oh, and the puck rolls across the goal line. Bart Archer just about lost his marbles.
I think
we go to overtime. My God, I thought I needed to get paddles for Bart Archer, and he was going to start crying. The Hornets darn near won it right there. They don't.
Time for me to gather my marbles now during this break. Oh, my word. It was right on the...
You made me jump.
I didn't mean to.
Wow.
An honest, natural reaction on that one. That was a trying moment for Eden Prairie, but, boy, they survived that one. We're 3 minutes away from our first overtime. How about that?
Right through the crease area there is the Hornets.
Oh, and it was Colby that had a good swipe at it, but nice job by Pager to really limit that. Otherwise, Colby would have punched that one in for a second goal and no bigger goal scored, but Eden Prairie survived that battle. They were the best team or the best sequence during that last minute, but Edina came back with seconds to go. Delaney put it out front, but Colby had an opportunity, but nice stick by Pager to keep that puck out of the net.
Colby had one swing with about 0.8 seconds left, actually 0.8 seconds. It would have been awfully close to see if the green light goes on, but it was like trickling right across the goal line. That's as close as it gets there.
Well, to my defense, even Kurt Giles showed some emotion. So
did he?
Yeah. They showed a replay. Dave Twilliger did not, but Kurt Giles did. Boy, how good is this? This is fabulous.
So we go to the first overtime here. Last time Eden Prairie were in an overtime game. Was the 09 the Rao goal or 11?
Yeah, that was
2011. Kyle Rao in triple overtime.
Boy, they're looking to mimic that again, just a little quicker, I'm sure. But Eden Prairie has really, really played well. It's kind of, and I hate to be cliche, but you hate to see a loser in this game because both teams have played exceptionally well as far as the effort. But the goal scorers in this game so far, Holt with his 13th for Eden Prairie, then Edina, Delaney his 20th, then Colby scored his 8th, and Schultz scored his 2nd. What a big goal it is for Clayton Schultz on the score sheet.
Wow. So 2 goaltenders, both underclassmen. The Edina goaltender, Loudon Hogue, a sophomore. Baptism by fire here. He's seen 32 shots, turned away 30. And Axel Rosenlund, a junior for the Eden Prairie Eagles, he's seen 18 and turned aside 16. The Eagles had some just incredible chances there toward the end of the period as well. And, boy, this thing, what we do know is it's going to end 3-2.
Yes, indeed. That's the only thing we know at this point, but it's going to be fun figuring out the rest.
Boy, you might want to tell a friend to get online with us here because this is fitting for you and I, Bart Archer.
And I'll try not to blow out your eardrums, I promise.
I jumped.
I jumped too.
I know you did. Tim Kolamainen from Breakdown Sports USA said, hey, watch, we're going to have overtime tonight. And you said?
I don't remember.
Yeah, you said, yeah, you're right.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as I'm right, yeah. I remember saying that now. But again, I hope we're translating this properly to the people that can't watch it on TV, but it's been a heck of a contest. We're just a couple seconds away from our first overtime.
Here we go. Face off at center ice. It's going to be Jensen and Mason Nevers.
Be responsible.
The two towns that touch each other, Edina and Eden Prairie. Lake Conference schools. They're going through, so they got to put 8. They had 17 up on the clock there. Oops. They do 8 minutes. If nothing happens here, we do the ice. And then we come back for 17 more. And we go from there. Keegan Langfels back in behind the net. Eagles control off the face-off. It's going to be Boltman with a hard ring. Now the Class A game was decided in overtime last night in one of the semifinals. That was done within 23 seconds. Don't think that's going to happen here tonight. Now Jensen with it. Plays this one off the end boards. Maybe I'm wrong. To the slot area. Now it's Jungles. Up the ice he goes. Plays this on a chip to the right wing side. Malmquist gets closed on quickly as he plays that back in behind. Luke Middlestat, watched by Nevers, fights him off. A couple of future Gophers there doing battle. Luke Middlestat guides that one in back in behind. Loudon Hogue cuts that one off. It's going to be Reiners with it. Long pass ahead. Offside at the line on Liam Malmquist. They're going to take it all the way down.
Well, Reiners was under a little bit of duress from Jensen, so he got rid of that puck a little quicker, and it just kind of walked away from Malmquist. He tried to gather it up, but he had to get offsides to do it, so it's going to come all the way down into the Edina zone. Very big play, very subtle play. Face-off very important for both teams. Emphasis on the Edina Hornets.
I'm looking at my boy, the very intense Paul Ranheim, the former Hornet, former Calgary Flame, and many others. He wants to play right now. He's just like jumping out of his skin.
He probably could, too.
Up to the slot area it goes. It's going to be handled now by Colby as he works this one across the line. Argetzinger watches him to the corner. Back in behind. Delaney was there. Rudrud finds Jones as Jones looks up off the boards to center. Here's Garrett Smith with it on the right wing side. Vorlicki watches him. Escape in front. Shot. Save made by Hogue. What an escape by Smith to Rudrud. Now it's Jones, top of the right circle. Nifty pass behind the back. Looks for Rudrud. That was blocked. That was a beautiful save. A great setup by Smith to Jones. Or Rudrud, rather. Armed out of there by Rosenlund. 6:37 of the OT. Knotted at 2 if you've just joined us. Now it's Smith with it. Plays this one ahead. Off the boards, Reiner. Reiner's now picked up by Cam Langfels. Tries to find Jones, but the Hornets will spring Malmquist. Moves it ahead to the right wing side. Oh, he mishandled there, lost it. And it's played through center, kicked away by Reiners as he plays that to the right wing corner all the way into the Eden Prairie zone. Cam Langfels behind, watched. He's going to take an icing call as he is watched closely by Nevers. Not a bad idea. That trio for Eden Prairie had been out for some time.
Well, indeed, and we're in the overtime period, so you don't want to try to defend against the Hornets with tired legs. So he opted to get to the faceoff dot, let his coach reset and get some fresh legs out on the ice. But Malmquist he's fighting it a little bit. He had some opportunities, but he blew a tire on that one. Otherwise, would have been a nice opportunity for Edina in this overtime.
Fought off behind the net. Nevers looks in front. Now it's going to be handled by the Eagles. It's going to be Luke Middlestad with it. Gets away from Malmquist, gains center, and plays that back in behind. Hogue can't quite cut it off as it's going to be Holt that's tied up by Boltman. Now it's going to be Middlestad, cuts that off. That's Luke Middlestad, the D-man. Now it's back up ice. Batchelder now has got to deal with Jungles. A Mr. Hockey finalist gives him over to Keegan Langfels wisely. And now Langfels blocks that one. Look out. Puck along the goal line. Jungles is dangerous behind that. He's got the big reach, and Chorsky in front, the big frame. Scores! The Edina Hornets, Colby. Chorsky in front. Helmets flying, yard sail on. They slide all the way down, and the Hornets are the 2019 Minnesota State High School hockey champions. An incredible job off the end boards as the Eagles will fall to the Hornets in a memorable hockey game in overtime.
Well, Peter Colby with his second goal of the contest, and not a bigger goal he has scored to date. But Edina Hornets, congratulations on your championship. This is the tough part for me, P. Wagner. You see a team over here in jubilation, and you see a team over here with dejection. Your heart feels for Eden Prairie. They were every bit worthy of winning the state title, but Edina put it in when they needed to in this first overtime. But what a great game it was. We appreciate their efforts, but your heart has to go out for Eden Prairie. But how big of a save was that on that Garrett Smith sequence where it was Loudon Hogue that made that save to keep that puck out of the net and give Edina that opportunity. But what a great game it was, and we thank them for their efforts tonight. It was very entertaining.
It was an incredible save. You know, Lee Smith was the first one off his bench, like in no time flat. He just walked right out there as the rest of his team sat on the bench, and he got down to be with Axel Rosenlund and talk things over. Hornets score a very clean goal. Colby was terrific. I told you after the second or during the second period I wanted to see more of him.
Absolutely.
And I did.
And when they moved Malmquist up, it was the coaches elected to put Colby on that line. He brings energy, he brings speed, and he showed a scoring touch tonight, but what a big goal it was. Not a bad celly either. He deserved that one.
You know, Jet Jungles is a Mr. Hockey finalist. Puck went back in behind the net, and he absolutely made a play. There's all sorts of troubles. Chorsky was in front. That took Keegan Langfels. He had to deal with the big body, and that opened up space for Colby down the slot area. A very good, clean goal. Nothing the goaltender could do there. A really heartfelt game by both these teams. And, you know, Edina did what they had to do to play the game they were given, and the Eagles did everything they could to deserve a win, but they didn't get it. It's unfortunate someone had to lose that hockey game.
Well, Peter, I've lived in Edina 52 of my 58 years on this planet, and I didn't want the game to end. I wanted to go to 2 or 3 overtimes. Wow.
You wanted to be here till 1 in the morning.
I wouldn't have minded. But
that was quite a hockey game.
What a great way to put a bow on a season.
So coming up next, we're going to keep it here. We're going to hear who the Herb Brooks Award winner is. They're going to name the all-tournament team. And then the goodbye chants going. I don't know if that's really a class act by the green and white. They might want to pipe that down a little bit, but
it's not everybody.
I know. I'm just saying it's not the time.
No, I absolutely agree. But he did the Theo Fleury on the shit celebration.
He went straight Theo Fleury.
And he pulled it off, too.
I won't ask Paul Ranheim how that looked. He was on the other end of that once.
Oh. Yeah, we don't.
Jack Jensen shaking hands with his former mates. Grew up through the Edina Youth Program. Ended up moving to Eden Prairie his freshman year.
You know, I don't know if there's anything more Jack Jensen could have done. He didn't leave anything on the bench.
Oh, this is an awesome hockey game. Terrific hockey game. So we are going through long handshakes. This is the longest handshake line I've ever seen. Full-fledged hugs. They obviously play a lot of summer hockey together. Boy, I've got the Peter Brady going on. I cannot, the voice, there's not much left of it.
Well, calling as many games as you have this year, I don't remember what the number was.
I didn't get a cold. That was the big deal. Kept myself healthy.
Well, but Pete, without all of your hard work and Matt Harrington, John Sands, Patrick Lilia, everybody that's involved, Nate, who did color for the Class A, did a wonderful job, by the way. But just the production of everybody that's been involved in this. Todd Groves, obviously, and I'm going to miss some names, so I hate naming names, but there are a lot of people that went into the production that we provide, and it's just a privilege to be a part of it. Covering Minnetonka, covering Holy Angels, Benilde St. Margaret's, and we've had the benefit of covering Eden Prairie this year and Edina this year. So, Pete, we have some investment in it emotionally, but you hate to see a loser.
A terrific hockey game. We're going to turn it downstairs as I believe Kelly Paradise is waiting to hand out the Herb Brooks Award.
Junior. Herb Brooks and the game of hockey have become synonymous. After winning a state title with St. Paul Johnson in 1955, he would later play on 2 Olympic hockey teams and lead the University of Minnesota to 3 national titles. But his biggest moment came in 1980 when Brooks guided Team USA to a gold medal at Lake Placid. He would later coach in the NHL and again in the Olympics, winning a silver in 2002. Herb Brooks passed away in 2003, but his legacy lives on. The Herb Brooks Award is symbolic of the way Herb Brooks played and coached. The recipient of this honor is passionate about the game, is committed to school, team, and community, and is a person of character that is goal-oriented as well as a skilled player and leader on and off the ice. As Herb Brooks once said, it's the name on the front of the jersey that's more important than the one on the back.
Please welcome from the Herb Brooks Foundation, Olivia Paradise, granddaughter of Herb Brooks, and Dan Brooks, son of Herb Brooks.
We are happy to announce that the 2019 Herb Brooks Award winner is Eden Prairie's Jack Jensen.
Wow, Jack Jensen gets the Herb Brooks Award. Good for him.
It's a very distinguished honor to have. Certainly deserving.
Super good kid. Bet you he's absolutely stunned.
Super talented player
Mr.
as
Hockey
well.
finalist.
He even mustered a smile, Pete. I know he's probably disappointed, but he was going to look back on his Eden Prairie career with pride.
Jack, I know this hurts a lot right now, but fans, let's hear it for the effort we had from Eden Prairie and Jack Jensen today in this state championship game. You've been around hockey a long time. The name Herb Brooks means a lot in this state. What does this award mean to you?
This is unbelievable. It's all credit to my teammates and my coaches. Without them, this would never happen. And I'm so proud of what we accomplished. And just to get here is unbelievable. And I'm just so proud of you guys. And credits to Edina. You guys worked your butts off. So, thank you.
What a game! And the Gophers are getting a good one. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to present the 12-member Wells Fargo All-Tournament Team, chosen by the media and members of the Minnesota High School Hockey Coaches Association. The awards will be presented by John Jensen from Wells Fargo, assisted by League Executive Director Eric Martins. These students have distinguished themselves during the state hockey tournament by their athletic excellence, leadership, team commitment, and exceptional sportsmanship. Presenting the All-Tournament Team trophies on behalf of Wells Fargo and center ice, John Jensen. And now, the 2019 Class AA Hockey All-Tournament Team. From Blaine, forward, Carson Rickles. From Blaine, forward, Cole Hansen. From Duluth East, forward, Ryder Donovan.
Oh, the Hounds are still here.
From Lakeville South, goalie Henry Welsh.
MVP.
Oh, he was so good.
He's got a great stocking
From
hat
Eden
on,
Prairie,
too.
defenseman Keegan Langfells.
All about the style, man.
Always with me. Look good, play good, feel look
From
good, feel
Eden
good,
Prairie,
play good.
forward Jack Jensen. From Eden Prairie, defenseman Luke Middlestad. From Edina, defenseman Jake Boltman. From Edina, forward Liam Malmquist.
Bart's favorite.
From Edina, defenseman Mike Vorlicki.
Pete's favorite.
From Edina, forward Jet Jungles.
There's a player right there. He's, they've got the short list for Mr. Hockey finalist.
And from Edina, goalie Loudon Hogue.
Pretty incredible what he's done
Wells
this year.
Fargo and the Minnesota
How about,
State High School League
Loudon
congratulate
Hogue?
all members of the 2019 Class
Got a
AA
bloody
Boys
nose.
Hockey
Yeah, he got
All-Tournament
smoked
Team.
in the celly.
A small price to pay, I'm sure.
Yeah, everybody usually gets pretty much gassed
And
there.
now
so
let's meet and congratulate
that's
our
going to do it
second
here,
and first
Bart
place
Archer. We're going to give it a
winners.
wrap as they will
Earlier
announce
today,
the
the
teams.
consolation trophy was awarded to Duluth East High School. The third place trophy and bronze medals were awarded to Blaine High School. Presenting the awards are Bonnie Spohn Schmaltz, Eden Valley Walk-ins.
That'll do it
Craig
here. We'll
Anderson
turn Jimmy Carroll down, and we're going to say so long to each and every one of you on a terrific season. We will be back at it once again next year. Not sure what it's going to look like, but the MN Hockey TV alive and well. Be sure to check out. I'll have a couple of diary entries for you all coming up over the next day or so, and then we'll put a nice little tight bow on this one. Working on doing some Beauty League stuff this year. Not sure what that's going to look like. And again, for our entire crew, the guys that have been here tonight, Matt Harrington has been an absolute baller for our organization. He has taken it to another level. He's a young professional. He's 18 years old, and he's wise beyond his years. He knows what he's doing. For Bart Archer, once again, thank you for spending this time with me. It's been a blast of a season. Had a wonderful time with you. The final score reads the Edina Hornets 3 and the Eden Prairie Eagles 2 in overtime. So long, everybody.